What's happening with it? What it do? What it do? Y'all already know what it is. When you come in the building, hit the like button and jump in the comments. Let me know you in the building. What's happening with everybody? My man, the assassin DLJ in the building. What's happening with it? Aaron L in the building. What it do? Mike Rhymoff in the building. What's happening with it? My man Chef Boy ID. What it do? And yeah, like I said, y'all hit that like button when you come in the building and let me know y'all in the building. You know what I'm saying? Jump in the comments. Antoine Johnson, what's happening with it? Salute. Yeah, yeah. We got a lot to cook on today. A lot to cook on today. A lot going on. That boy Ryan Garcia looked like he finally gonna get his test. Let's see what he's talking about. Let's see if he's gonna take that smoke. There's a lot of things going on in boxing. You know, glad to be on here, able to cook today, and we're gonna get into it for sure. Definitely go cook today. And like I said, make sure that y'all hit the like button when you come in. KG, what's happening with it? What's good with it, man? Yeah. Like I said, hit my like button. Make sure they send out my notifications. It's a lot going on in boxing, man. I see, hey, y'all killing Canelo. Hey, heavy as the head that wears the crown, though. I see y'all killing Canelo. We got some niggas throwing parties, and we got other niggas crying about this shit. What's happening, Gene? What it do? Ying. Yeah. We got some niggas crying because Canelo lost, and we got other niggas throwing parties. Some niggas acting like they hit the lotto. Some niggas acting like they lost a loved one. Which one is you? Oh man. Well, let's talk about it though. Phil J, what's happening with it? Anthony Johnson, what it do? What it do? And my man Anthony Johnson in that Cash App, man. Appreciate you, man. Always coming through showing love. My man Jawan Ramos, what's happening with it? He say, Jago talking that boxing again. Yeah, y'all already know, you know. And if a nigga asks you, I don't watch reality TV, I watch boxing. Yeah. But yeah, let's talk about it, you know. Let's get into it. Man, I think we got this weekend. Ain't it this weekend? Jamel Charlo and Brian Castano, they getting it popping this weekend. Am I wrong or am I right? Ain't that fight this weekend? Or is it the weekend? I think it's this weekend. Um, is it this weekend, y'all? My man Jelly Bean 428 4280 Polo Sports Entertainment. My man Nitty G. What's happening with it? Salute. Let me know if I'm wrong. Is it this weekend or is it next weekend? Jamel Charlo and Brian Castano. I've been having a lot going on, so you know, I ain't up on everything that's been going on like I usually am. Okay, my man D Anderson said, yeah, it's this weekend. So we got so much smoke. Hey, what's gonna happen if Jamel Charlo beats Brian Castano and become undisputed, right? He went through everybody he had to. He didn't skip around nobody. He ain't duck no smoke, right? If you ask about Canelo, some people gonna tell you, you know, he fight the best. Some people gonna tell you that he ducked some smoke. But if Jamel Charlo do what he got to do this weekend, How high should Jamel Charlo be on the pound for pound list? Manny say Canelo, steroids, steroids, steroids. I mean, we can address all of that. You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna address everything. I mean, it ain't out of the question. It ain't out of the question, but I'm gonna tell y'all like this. One thing I do know is Canelo Alvarez wasn't on no PEDs for this fight, and he wasn't on no PEDs for the Caleb Plant fight. Now, was he on some shit before those fights? I don't know. You feel me? No, his body looked different this time when he moved up. You feel me? I can't just point the finger and accuse the man. All I can say is what I saw and what you know what I noticed. Juwan Ramos say Jamel should be in the top 5, maybe 3, but they ain't gonna put him that high. Oh yeah, you already know they ain't gonna put him that high. The powers that be ain't gonna put him that high. But a lot of people, they talking about, you know, Canelo shouldn't be getting no backlash at all because Canelo dared to be great. He moved up and he wanted to be great. And none of these other fighters dared to be great like him. Well, it could be some truth to that, and it could be some false. That could be a true narrative in some way, and that could be false in other ways. But we're going to talk about all that shit. We're going to talk about all that. My man Nitty G, he say Jamel should be at least top 5. Okay. Like I said, we're gonna talk about it. Depending on how he gets the job done. Because how you get the job done matters too. It matters. You know what I'm saying? It matters how you get the job done. But first he gotta get the job done. Cono Loco, what's happening with it, Cono? Salute. DP Rocker, what it do? My man Justin Nine says David Morrell brutally called out Benavidez, saying he calls himself Boogeyman, but he'll give him beating he'll never forget. I mean, I ain't see that. I mean, I'm not saying he ain't say that, but I saw David Morrell and David Benavidez. They was in the same, you know, building, hanging out, whatever. They weren't together, but they was David Benavidez was with his people doing his thing, and David Morrell was with, you know, his people doing his thing, hanging out, you know, having a good time in Dallas. In the hotel, you know, lobby, bar area, whatever. But they was cool with each other, you know what I'm saying? They was cordial. They spoke with each other. They shook each other hands, you know, and all of that. So it wasn't like no tension between them. But as far as right now, you won't see a David Morrell and David Benavidez fight no time soon. I think they both got the same manner. I think Sampson, he manages both of them as far as I know, and he already said that, you know, it won't be no David Benavidez versus David Morrell fights. He said that. Now, as far as the two fighters, David Benavidez will fight anybody. David Morrell, he young and hungry. He'll fight David Benavidez, but that fight ain't gonna happen now. And as far as a business standpoint, it don't make no sense for that fight to happen now, because if David Morrell ends up being what a lot of people think he could be, if he end up being a monster like that, well, why would you have them fight now when you could save that fight down the line when they both have big names in the sport? David Morrell, don't nobody know who he is, so let's just keep it 100. It wouldn't really make no sense for them to put a fight with David Morrell and David Benavidez together, you know, when they are both future superstars in the game. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way the business of boxing is ran, and that right there makes sense. David Morrell only got about 7 fights. You know, you don't want to put him in there with David Benavidez when you don't even know what his full potential is right now at the moment. You feel me? Yeah, nah, Polo Sports, I wouldn't turn it up. Shit, I was sober. But, you know, other folks might have been turning up. It wasn't me, though. Sheena, salute. Salute to the Queen Sheena in the building. Bond quickly, what's happening with it? What about Bivol versus Benavidez? Well, Benavidez got to get past Joe Smith first in June. I think he will get past Joe Smith, and that's a fight I want to see. We see, man, Canelo ain't fucking with Bivol. It just is what it is, you know. And like I said, we gonna get deep into that. We're gonna get deep into all of that. I've been seeing, you know, the talks around town in the boxing world, and I'm gonna address all that shit. Basic Truth says so. Benavidez can call out Charlo weeks a middleweight, but can't fight Morrell, who's a natural stupid. Basic Truth, I don't know what you talking about right now, bruh. Like, I don't know what you talking about. Who on here said that Benavidez said that he wouldn't fight David Morrell? I just broke down the whole business why it don't make sense for David Benavidez and David Morrell not to fight right now. And you said that, and you coming on here talking about, I guess, man, I guess. But yeah, I'm not, I mean, if that's how you want to take it how you want to, but that ain't it. UK Boxing 89 says, this has become my new favorite boxing channel. Keep up the good work, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate the support. World Combat, what's happening with it? World Combat. Who Israel? What it do? Bum Quiqui says Benavidez throws more punches than Canelo. A lot more punches, but see, you gotta think. It's a lot of fighters that throw more punches than Canelo. Canelo's thing was never volume. He never throwed a lot of volume, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, we definitely gonna get into this Canelo shit because there's a lot of shit to talk about. It's a lot of things to address when it comes to the whole Canelo situation. But one thing I want to talk about is the fight that's just been ordered, right? So they just ordered Isaac Pitbull Cruz to face Ryan Garcia. That fight was ordered. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me pull it up on my joint. So yeah, Isaac Pitbull Cruz and Ryan Garcia, the fight was ordered. Our West, nah, me and Money ain't talked about the fight. Nah, not at all. But yeah, so Isaac Pitbull Cruz and Ryan Garcia, that fight was just ordered. Now Ryan Garcia, his back is up against the wall. Yeah, Ryan Garcia gonna have to show up because if Ryan Garcia and Oscar De La Hoya and his team turned down this Isaac Pitbull Cruz smoke when this fight was ordered, everybody gonna know that Ryan Garcia and his team is pussy. And y'all hit my like button. If y'all ain't hit my like button yet, do me a favor right now. Take a quick pause for a second and hit my like button. Pause for a quick second and hit the like button. You know, it don't cost you nothing. It don't take no time to hit the like button. But yeah. So Ryan Garcia, Isaac Cruz, that fight is now ordered. You know, Ryan Garcia, he was talking that shit like he wanted the Isaac Cruz fight, right? Oscar De La Hoya was talking that shit like they would make the Isaac Cruz fight. So now let's see if they really about what they talking about. We can't have Ryan Garcia pulling out of no more fucking fights. Isaac Cruz is right there. And the good thing about this is they saying the winner of this fight will be the mandatory to the winner between Devin Haney and George Kambosos. Yeah. Now we already know that Ryan Garcia don't want no Devin Haney smoke. But if Ryan Garcia can go in there, right? We know that he was rusty his last fight. I'm going to get that to him, okay? Your last fight, you look like shit. You was rusty, though, because you had a long layoff. You know, you had a whole bunch of issues. You was coming off of hand surgery. So I'm going to get that to you. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, right? But now you got Isaac Pitbull Cruz, and you got to prove yourself. You got to prove you are one of the elite fighters or you just garbage. You know, they can't keep cherry picking opponents for you because I told y'all from the jump when this Makabu shit came up, I said I ain't never heard of dude. I never heard of no Makabu. Then I went and saw him fight, and I didn't see nothing impressive. You know, but I expected Ryan Garcia to knock his ass out. I picked Ryan Garcia to knock him out within, 6 rounds, but that didn't happen. Ryan Garcia couldn't even, he couldn't catch him. But now it's time for Ryan Garcia to put up and shut the fuck up, right? Get to work and prove that you can beat a top level opponent. To me, Isaac Pitbull Cruz, he's cool. I like Isaac Pitbull Cruz. I got to meet him. Hella cool, hella humble kid. But as far as a fighter in the ring, he very aggressive, but he ain't too impressive to me. He cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? He got a lot of flaws in his game. So if Ryan Garcia is what he's supposed to be, right? If Ryan Garcia is supposed to be one of the top 5 best at 135, like a lot of people think he is, well, Ryan Garcia should be able to go in there and beat Isaac Cruz. I mean, yeah, Isaac Cruz got power. He's very aggressive. But I mean, come on, y'all seen Isaac Cruz. I was right there ringside while Isaac Cruz was fighting Gamboa his last fight. Isaac Cruz is doing the same shit over and over and over and over. And the only reason that shit worked and Isaac Cruz didn't get his whole fucking snot box knocked off is because Gamboa is old and washed up. Let's just keep it 100. And I like Isaac Cruz. I like Isaac Cruz as a person. I'm gonna be rooting for Isaac Cruz. I'm rooting for Isaac Cruz. But I just gotta keep it 100. I seen Isaac Cruz fight Gamboa. And he was doing the same shit over and over and over and over. And he was leaving himself wide open to get hit with everything. If Gamboa was the old Gamboa, he might have would have knocked Isaac Cruz out because Isaac Cruz was throwing wild looping shots, leaving his whole fucking face, chin, nose, eyes, all that shit wide open to get hit. But Gamboa just couldn't capitalize because Gamboa is older than Methuselah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not giving Isaac Cruz no credit for going in there and knocking out Gamboa. And then Isaac Cruz, let's keep it 100. He's getting most of his credit for going 12 rounds with Gervonta Tank Davis. Ryan Garcia should be able to beat Isaac Cruz if he is what his people say he is. That's all I'm saying. Now, am I picking Ryan Garcia to beat Isaac Cruz? I'm not saying all of that. I'm just saying he should be able to. Seattle Boxing Talk said he fought him that way for a reason. Nah, you're a professional. When you are a professional, right, you go in there and you get the job done to the best of your ability. It ain't no, oh, well, I fought him wild and left my fucking chin wide open. It ain't no reason behind that. It's not a reason behind that. Because even though Gamboa's older than dirt, you feel me? Gamboa still has enough power if he catches you to knock your dick in the dirt. So it ain't no reason Isaac Cruz only went out there and fought Gamboa like that for a reason. No, ain't no reason behind that, homie. These is professionals. One fucking punch could knock your motherfucking dick in the dirt, straight up and down. 817 Boxing Beat, what's happening with it, my brother? So yeah, y'all hit the like button. Y'all smash on the like button. Justin 9 says Ryan Garcia just posted on his IG that he's excited the WBC ordered to fight. Well, in order for me to believe anything that Ryan Garcia say, I need him to sign that paper, and I need to see him right on fight week. I need to see him on fight week. For me to believe that he gonna hop in the ring, I need to see him on fight week. Because Ryan Garcia been excited about a whole bunch of shit that never turned out. That's just what it is. Ryan Garcia been excited about a whole bunch of shit in his career that never turned out. So I'm not finna let Ryan Garcia bluff me and fool me into thinking that he just so excited that he really wanted this fight. You feel me? I don't believe that right now. You're gonna have to do more than that to make me believe that Ryan Garcia really wants this fight. Now, he could want the fight, but he got to prove to me that he wants to fight. He got to step in that ring and show out. That's just what it got to be. Ain't nobody believing Ryan Garcia off of his word, because his word don't hold no weight. Let me see what y'all talking about. And y'all hit the like button. Y'all smash on that like button. Ryan, yeah, Zenith, that's exactly what I was saying. See, me and Zenith basically said the same shit, and I didn't even see his coming. He say, Ryan been excited about a ton of fights he pulled out of. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, y'all. And I ain't hating on Ryan Garcia because a lot of people don't like Ryan Garcia. I'm not a huge Ryan Garcia fan, and I'm not a huge person, and I don't have no dislike of Ryan Garcia. At this point, with me and Ryan Garcia, I'm just gonna sit back and watch. You know what I'm saying? You ain't impressed me in your last bout. I know that you have talent, right? But you do have a lot of holes in your game. I know that you have fast hands. You got power in both hands. You're a good body puncher when you decide to go down to the body. You quick. Quick hands. But you got slow feet. Your defense is trash. You know what I'm saying? When you get hit, you turn your back on your opponents a lot of times. Your feet are slow. You know what I'm saying? Your lateral movement is trash. So he got a whole lot of holes in this game, but his power in both hands and his speed is able to disguise the holes that he have in his game when he's in there with a certain level of opponents. Now, when he step up his level of opponent, right? Certain opponents is going to expose every hole he got in his game. Chin up in the air, yeah. Exactly, coach. Exactly, world comeback. Coach, what's happening with it? What's good with it? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Sylvester 2011, what's happening with it? What it do? And see, and y'all smash the like button. Y'all smash the like button. So I like that. I like that fight. Isaac Pitbull Cruz and Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? To me, I'm gonna keep it 100. Both of them got shit to prove to me, because and I don't know what motherfuckers is talking about there. Isaac Pitbull Cruz beat Gervonta Tank. He didn't come close to beating Gervonta Tank Davis. I gave Pitbull Cruz 3 rounds in that fight. Just because he was competitive with Gervonta Tank Davis in some of those rounds don't mean he won the motherfucking fight. You know what I'm saying? But heavy is the head that wears the crown. You feel me? Because when you Gervonta Tank Davis and people get used to you knocking out everybody, it comes with the territory. When certain casual fans or certain fans that want to see you lose, when you finally go the distance, you don't get a knockout, to them, right, in their eyes, because they don't know shit about boxing. They don't even know how to watch boxing correctly. In their eyes, that means that you lost the fight. You know what I'm saying? But to me, I've always said from the jump, Gervonta Tank Davis showed me more in that Isaac Pitbull Cruz fight than he has in pretty much all of his fights since he fought Pedraza. You know what I'm saying? You going in there and knocking out, a lot of times that's amazing. People like to see that, but I want to see you do different things. I want to see you get tested. I want to see you show your boxing skills. And he showed that. To me, in the Isaac Pitbull Cruz fight, he showed footwork, he showed defense, he showed boxing skills, he showed things that he hadn't brought out the arsenal, in a long time. Get the smoke. What's happening with it? What it do? Yeah, and my man Juwan Ramos say they wasn't used to watching Tank fight off his back. He said they wasn't used to seeing Tank fight backwards, but he beat Pitbull with one hand. But see, that was what was impressive to me. He also showed that he could fight off his back foot. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of front foot dominant fighters, they can't fight off their back foot like that. And he showed that. He showed that he could, turn you. And he showed that he has good footwork and he could fight off his back foot. Sylvester 2011 said Garcia puts a beating on Pitbull. Unlike Tank, he has faster hands and better reach. he has better reach. I don't know about faster hands. You feel me? I mean, Garcia couldn't put a beating on Emmanuel Tego. So I don't know where I don't know what film you looking at or what proof you looking at, my dude, to say that he puts a beating on Isaac Pitbull Cruz. He got to prove that. You know what I'm saying? That shit sound good, but you got to go in there and prove that. You feel me? Sylvester says Tank faced a lot of adversity against Pitbull. I think was mainly due to size. I didn't see Tank in a lot of adversity versus Pitbull Cruz. I saw Pitbull Cruz being aggressive. I didn't see Tank hurt in that fight. I didn't really see him take adversity. The most adversity Tank took to me was him only being able to use one hand, most of the fight. To me, that fight wasn't close. I didn't look at that fight and ever think that Gervonta Tank Davis was in adversity. To me, Tank was in more adversity in the what's the fight with the big dude? Barrios. To me, he went through more adversity in the Mario Barrios fight, not the Pitbull Cruz fight. You said Ryan will do a lot of holding that night. I don't coach. Ryan don't really hold too much. You know what I'm saying? I don't see Ryan doing a lot of holding. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it would be good for him if he did know how to hold like that. But Ryan, I ain't really never seen him doing a lot of holding. Super Funk Master says Canelo should just retire. He's done. That makes no sense at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? If that's the difference between a boxing fan and a casual. If you just out here talking about, Canelo needs to retire now. Why does he need to retire? Because he went up in weight and lost one time. Like, that shit don't make no sense, bro. I mean, if that was the case, if that was the case, we probably should have about 20 boxers fighting right now in all the boxing, and the rest of them need to retire. We got to stop this shit. I know it's I know people gonna get their shit off, they gonna get their shit off and they gonna laugh and they gonna point and hee ha ha. But I mean, some of this shit is just outrageous. Polo Sports says, Keon, they only say adversity because Tank didn't knock him out, but every fight doesn't have to be a knockout in order to get a win. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Yeah, I said the same thing you said earlier. Plug Cap says, we all know Ryan winning. I don't know why we acting like he ain't better than Cruz. Dude just spams. I mean, I don't know that Ryan, we don't all know nothing. We'll know once Ryan, if Ryan gets in the ring with Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Right? And then if he wins the fight, then we'll be able to say that he's better than Isaac Pitbull Cruz. But up to this point, Ryan Garcia ain't really did shit to prove nothing. Ryan Garcia beat Luke Campbell. That's the best fighter on his resume is Luke Campbell. I gave him all the credit in the world for stopping Luke Campbell with that body shot. You feel me? He actually impressed me because a lot of people felt that Luke Campbell was a bomb, and I felt that Luke Campbell was a solid opponent. So Ryan Garcia, he got to build off of that Luke Campbell fight because he didn't look good in the last fight versus Emmanuel Tego. Even though Emmanuel Tego, once he felt Ryan Garcia's power, he pretty much was in the ring trying to survive. I'm going to keep it 100. He ain't want to win that fight. He was in the ring trying to survive, trying to stay alive. And he ain't come to fight. So we can't really judge Ryan Garcia off of that fight. But what we can judge in that fight is Ryan Garcia didn't know how to set up his shots with his jab. He was throwing wild shots all night, missing by a mile. He didn't know how to cut off the ring, and he don't have no inside game at all, right? He still was showing all of the flaws that people have been accusing him of having throughout his career. He hasn't shown that he's got any better in no area. So let's not sit up here and pretend that Ryan Garcia is just going to run through none of the fighters that's in the top 10. And Isaac Pitbull Cruz, you know, he's proved that at that division, he is in the top 10 at least. I can say that. 817 says Cinnamon just needs to fight where he belongs and stop hopping around and avoiding motherfuckers. Yeah, we gonna talk about all that. You know, I'm finna get it. I'm finna get deep into that, y'all. I'm finna get deep into that. My coach say Pitbull is a dog and it ain't no easy fight. Yeah, so we can't just say, oh, we all know that he gonna whoop Ryan Garcia is gonna whoop on Pitbull Cruz. Nah, we don't know that. Thank Father, what's happening with it? He say salute from fam. He said Ryan fight for another mandatory interim title. What a shame with the fourth one ordered. Yeah, I mean they giving Ryan, they throwing Ryan bones. Here. They throwing Ryan Garcia shit and he keep turning it down. So this time, let's see if he really gonna take this fight. But see, politics of boxing, you know what I'm saying? It ain't about what position you at. It's about what position they gonna put you at and who your promoter know. And who the people that back you, who they in good with. You feel me? That's what it's about. Yeah, man, y'all gotta hit the like button. And salute to my man KG once again. Y'all gotta hit the like button, man. Like, for real. The shit that I gotta go through to just to get on here and do this live for y'all, y'all gotta at least hit the like button. These ones, what's happening with it? Yeah, Ryan got all the chances in the world, Zenith. You feel me? Ryan got all the chances in the world. And yeah, man, y'all smash on the like button. You know what I'm saying? I know people forget to hit the like button, but some of y'all just some fucking weirdos and dickheads. Some people just forget, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you come in, you get to watching the show and you forget, oh shit, I ain't hit the like button. But some of y'all just some dickheads. Some of y'all will watch the whole show, you know, and won't hit the like button or just type some stupid shit like, oh, it's my decision if I hit the like button. Well, it's my decision if I block your motherfucking monkey ass. World Combat Sports says somebody didn't ask for permission to be online and supposed to be doing homework on here talking retirement. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. Right. Like, I feel like you can't a fighter lose and now he need to retire. That's what's wrong with boxing, y'all. That is what's wrong with boxing. You know what I'm saying? We need to stop this shit as fans. As boxing fans, we need to stop this shit, right? And like I said, it's okay. You know, heavy is the head that wears the crown. And I'm speaking about Canelo, right? Heavy is the head that wears the crown, right? I get it. You know what I'm saying? Canelo did a lot of fuck shit, right? He didn't ran his mouth. He didn't ran you know, ducked around certain type of competition. He didn't do a lot of fuck shit, right? But we can't just act like Canelo garbage all of a sudden because he lost to Bivol, right? So I understand. People gonna get their shit off. People gonna clown. People gonna, you know, go on Twitter and Instagram and make memes and do. I mean, it comes with the territory. They did it to Wilder. They did it. They do it to everybody. When you got that certain level, when you at that certain level, right? Heavy is the head that wears the crown. When you at that certain level, that would come with the territory. But when you start saying, oh, they need to retire and this and that, when, you know, come on, man. We better than that. Like, you know what I'm saying? We not finna go to that extent. Get your shit off, laugh, point, ha, do all that, whatever, you know. But once we start saying that they need to retire, and that's the problem why these fighters are so scared to take L's nowadays, right? They scared to take. They ain't scared to get in the ring with a certain opponent. They scared to get in the ring, and if they lose to that certain opponent, now some fighters, they don't have the skin to deal with all that shit. They go into a deep depression when they turn on the fucking internet and they got millions of motherfuckers laughing and clowning them and shit because they took an L. Some of them, they like shit. I don't want to deal with all of that. I can't deal with all of that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna face opponents that I know that I can beat. But sometimes that opponent that you know you can beat, right? It don't turn out that way sometimes. You feel me? It just don't turn out that way sometimes. Juwan Ramos said he ain't done, but he see Canelo losing if he take on all challenges at 168. Well, like I said, the title is of this joint, the truth. It's time to let the truth be told. And that's what's going to have to happen with Canelo. And we're going to get into that in just a minute. We're going to get into that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hit my like button because we definitely going to get into that. You feel me? Yeah, Polo Sports. Name me a great fighter that didn't take an L besides Floyd Mayweather. A lot of people say Joe Calzaghe. He never took an L, but he wasn't no great fighter to me. He was very good. You know, depending on who you ask. That's just my opinion. Besides Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward, and maybe, a couple other fighters, But for the most part, the greatest of the greats, they all took L's. You feel me? Snacks B, what's happening with it? Time for Charlo to step up and fight real competition. I mean, I've said that a long time ago. I've been and said that, right? Well, I've had how many lives talking about Jermall Charlo, but right now, this is not Jermall Charlo. You can't deflect, right? When we talking about Jermall Charlo, well, we're going to talk about Jermall Charlo and talk about what Jermall Charlo shouldn't do. I mean, what Jermall Charlo should be doing and what he ain't did. But you're not going to deflect and try to bring in Jermall Charlo when we talking about Canelo. You feel me? We're going to talk about Charlo when we talk about Charlo, and we're going to talk about Canelo when we talk about Canelo. See, I see a lot of y'all doing this. Oh, well, but Jermall Charlo and but Demetrius Andrade and but David Benavidez. This ain't the time for the buts, right? We're going to address what's going on with Canelo because he could have fought all of them. So ain't no buts behind it, right? And yeah, they need to, Jermall Charlo, he need to do what he need to do. I've talked about that on several occasions. You know what I'm saying? You might have missed it, but we have. But it ain't, now we going to talk about what's going on with Canelo in a minute. And Batman, what's happening with it? My man Boxing Knowledge says Muhammad Ali had 5 L's, right? You feel me? So if Muhammad Ali had a loss, if Muhammad Ali had retired after his first or second loss, what would Muhammad Ali would have been? Would Muhammad Ali be the legend that he is? Go look at Sugar Ray Robinson. How many L's he got on his record? If Sugar Ray Robinson had to quit after his first or second loss, if he had had the fan base that's in boxing nowadays that tell you, oh, well, you might as well just sit down and retire. What would Sugar Ray Robinson be? And all the rest of the greats. Timothy Bradley is 100% vegan. Bon Quickly, I don't know what that got to do with anything that we talking about, but but yeah. Jennifer say they gonna try to bring up every random black fire to avoid dealing with it. No, we gonna deal with it because when I was on Jermall Charlo head, everybody in here that fuck with me, that really fuck with me like that, they know when I was on Jermall Charlo helmet, I was on his helmet in heavy. So we're not gonna deflect and talk about what Jermall Charlo. We passed that already, right? Whether he fight the best or he don't, that's on him. You know what I'm saying? If Jermall Charlo fight the best and he win and he go down as a great, great. If Jermall Charlo decide that he want to continue fighting these Rudy Poots or do what they got, you know, or fight the opponents that they putting in front of him and they ain't the best, well, that's on him. He's just not gonna go, and people ain't gonna remember him like that, you know, 15, 20 years from now. They gonna remember his brother. That's what it is. Ain't no big deal. But anyway, man, and speaking of the Charlos, man, Jamel Charlo fighting this weekend. I can't wait. Hell of a fight. It's finna go down this weekend. Jamel Charlo and Brian Castano. Man, Brian Castano, he been, like I said, from the very beginning, he pretty much been promising everybody that he gonna get a stoppage. I think that Jamel Charlo gonna stop him. You feel me? I think that Jamel Charlo gonna stop Brian Castano. I think Jamel Charlo is ready. He locked in and he ready to go. You feel me? But Brian Castano, he ready to go too. You feel me? But from what I saw last fight between Jamel Charlo and Brian Castano, the things that I saw last fight, it makes me think that Jamel Charlo is finna knock this man out. Because Brian Castano was hurt on several occasions. Jamel Charlo did not push on the gas. He didn't do what he was supposed to do to get the job done when he had Brian Castano hurt. Brian Castano was ready to go a couple times in that fight, and Jamel Charlo was acting timid. He was acting timid. He was scared to run in there and, you know what I'm saying, press on the gas because he had got hit with some shit by Brian Castano earlier in the fight, and that made Jamel Charlo timid to pull the trigger at pointed times when he had Brian Castano hurt. But this time, I think that Jamel Charlo is going to learn from his mistakes. And when he hurt Brian Castano this time, I think it's going to be good night, Irene. I think it's good night, Irene, for Brian Castano. Is it going to be an easy fight for Jamel Charlo? Hell no. It's going to be a dog fight. For Jamel Charlo, it will not be an easy fight. It's going to be a dog fight. Will it surprise me if Brian Castano come out and pull this victory out? Nah, it won't surprise me because if Brian Castano can last all 12 rounds, he could beat Jamel Charlo, but I just don't see it happening. Let me see what y'all talking about in the comments. And Quee, salute to the queen, Quee in the building. I see you. Listen now says Benavidez, Charlo need to clear the air before they get a shot at King Canelo. They don't need to do a motherfucking thing. Why they need to clear the air? They don't need to do shit before they get a shot at Canelo. If that was the case, right? Canelo hadn't done shit at 175 pounds. If that was the case, Canelo should have went and cleared the air with some of them other 175 pounders that was waiting on his ass like Zorro Ramirez. If that was the case, Canelo should have went up to 175 and cleared the air with Zorro Ramirez before he got a shot at Bivol. If we gon', you know what I'm saying? They don't need to do nothing. They need to fucking, you know, they don't need to do nothing. And Benavidez, once he gets past motherfucking David Lemieux, Benavidez is gonna be Canelo Alvarez is mandatory. So he don't need to clear the air with nobody. You feel me? Canelo Alvarez should have been fought David Benavidez because David Benavidez was Canelo out. They was mandatories on a couple different occasions. And Canelo Alvarez didn't go run into that fire and get that smoke. Jose said Canelo definitely will fight GGG. In meantime, Charlo most fights must fight. You mean someone with a name like Benavidez? Well, Benavidez got a fight coming up. Charlo got a fight coming up. I just told y'all that Benavidez, once he get past David Lemieux, he is Canelo Alvarez mandatory. at 168. And I think for the WBC, think he the WBC mandatory. You feel me? So Jose says, do I think Charlo deserves a shot at Canelo fighting Ducking Selecki? Well, I mean, I've addressed it plenty of times. Selecki, no, he shouldn't be fighting no motherfucking Selecki, but does he deserve a shot with Canelo Alvarez? Absolutely. Because Canelo Alvarez was supposed to fight him at 160 pounds, and he dropped the titles. So whenever he dropped the titles or whatever happened, he dropped the titles. So yeah, he absolutely deserves a shot if Canelo Alvarez is saying that now I'm a free agent and now I'm looking forward to making fights with Jermall Charlo and all of these other guys. Canelo Alvarez said that shit. So yeah, if they put $50 million on the table for him to fight Jermall Charlo, yeah, that shit needs to happen. If they putting almost 60 mil on the table for him to fight David Benavidez, yeah, that shit needs to happen. Absolutely. We're not finna deflect. We're not gonna start deflecting and act like, oh, he don't, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like Coach said, if Jermall Charlo is ready to run in that fire and fight Canelo Alvarez, okay, run in that fire. You know what I'm saying? But you got to move up to 168 first. You got to move up to 168 first. Now, has Jermall Charlo deserved, has he done anything in his career to deserve to be able to fight whoever he want to fight? No, he ain't at that level. But Canelo at that level. And Canelo is the man that said a long time ago, I am now a free agent. I'm no longer with Golden Boy Promotions, and I'm looking forward to be able to make fights with Jermall Charlo and David Benavidez. I want to fight those guys. We ain't seen it yet. You know what I'm saying? You gotta live up to what you said you was gonna do. My man Zenith360 says, this is why no one respects Canelo fans. Anytime it's a threat, they say they need to do something to get a fight, but didn't complain about Yildirim, Amir Khan. He says they're scary and desperate to change the topic. Yeah, and see, that's like I be saying that shit too, bro. Like, we ain't complain about Yildirim. We didn't complain about motherfucking Rocky Fielding. So let's keep the same energy. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not no Canelo Alvarez hater. You know, I think Canelo Alvarez is a hell of a fighter. But a lot of things, a lot of his flaws were brought to the attention on Saturday night. And he is who he is. You feel me? He is who he is. It's just what it is. He is who he is. But see, this is not about Charlo. But we're going to make it about Charlo and David Benavidez and Demetrius Andrade, because the truth must be told. It's time for the truth to be told. You feel me? And what I mean by that is Canelo Alvarez's back is up against the wall now. I heard reports that Canelo Alvarez is pretty much coming to the conclusion that 175 pounds is a little bit too big for him. You feel me? That's what I'm hearing. I'm gonna keep it 100. I didn't hear him say that, but I heard that. I heard other people saying that Canelo is now saying that 175 is a little bit too big for him, that he gonna go to 168 and campaign at 168. Well, if that's the case, it's time to let the truth be told. It ain't no more skipping and hopping around, right? Your get out of jail free card is up. Yeah, you got undisputed. You knocked off. You went on a European tour and you knocked them off. I'm gonna give you credit for that. You did that. But it's other fighters that's gonna be up there that people want to see you fight, that they willing to pay you 50 mil plus each fight to do, that you need to make it. You need to make it happen. I don't want to see him come up and say, "Oh well, I'm fighting Triple G, and then I'm fighting motherfucking goddamn Liam Williams or somebody like that." Nah, we don't want to see that shit. Or what's the dude that what's the dude that man, what's dude name that they said he gonna fight? The one that beat Daniel Jacobs. What's the dude that beat Daniel Jacobs? OTB, what's happening with it? What's the cat's name that beat Daniel Jacobs recently? Wasn't he a Williams or some shit, or fucking Liam, one of them is it Liam Williams? John Ryder, yeah, John Ryder, yeah, my bad, John. Man, all them motherfuckers look the same to me. John Ryder, yeah. So I don't want to see him talking about, oh, we gonna do this Gennady Golovkin fight in September because it was already contractually obligated, right? And then I'm gonna turn around and fight John Ryder. Nah, nah. We don't want to see that. John Ryder ain't no big name. He ain't a big dog, and you're not gonna make as much fighting a John Ryder than you will if you do fight a Jermall Charlo, if he decides to move up, a David Benavidez or Demetrius Andrade. Motherfucker, don't nobody want to see you fighting no goddamn John Ryders. But y'all hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hit the smash on my like button. I said hit the like button. Hit the like button. And we really gonna dive into this. We're gonna dive into this Canelo shit that's been talked about. Like I said earlier, I see some niggas throwing parties. They throwing house parties. They excited. You know what I'm saying? That Canelo lost. Some niggas is acting like they won the motherfucking lottery. And some niggas is crying like they lost a loved one. You know what I'm saying? Some niggas is hurt, crying like they lost a loved one. Some is, excited like they won the lottery. I'm just a boxing fan. Like I said, I admitted I was wrong about Dimitri Bivol. Now, a lot of people saying, Canelo Alvarez, he was exposed, he was this, he was that, and it was a cherry pick gone wrong. Y'all hit the like button. Y'all hit the like button. Was Dimitri Bivol a cherry pick by Canelo Alvarez gone wrong? If Canelo Alvarez and his team had known that Dimitri Bivol was going to be a problem like he was on Saturday night, would Canelo Alvarez had stepped up to the plate and fought Dimitri Bivol at 175? Would he have done that? That's the question. That is the question. If Canelo Alvarez, right, if he had thought that Dimitri Bivol was going to be a problem like he was on Saturday night, would Canelo Alvarez have been willing to step up to the plate and take that test? Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You feel me? Let's talk about the shit. And my answer, right, my opinion is no. And the reason I'm saying no, right, the reason I'm saying no is because you got to go down the timeline and see how he moved. If they was offering you, right, a Jermall Charlo fight, which I think that he believed he could beat Jermall Charlo, that's just my opinion, right? But they was offering you on the back end a David Benavidez fight, or an Errol Spence fight, but we're not going to even talk about the Errol Spence fight because Errol Spence having to move up 17 pounds, that's a lot, right? So we're gonna stick to David Benavidez and Jermall Charlo, right? Because my opinion is that he turned down that deal because he didn't want to fight Jermall Charlo. I mean, not Jermall Charlo, David Benavidez. My bad, I got distracted for a minute. But my opinion is he turned that deal down, right? So you were gonna make 45+ million to fight Jermall Charlo, and then they were gonna turn around and pay you 55 million guaranteed to fight David Benavidez, plus all your back end. So when the back end money came in, you was probably gonna make 65, 70 million dollars off of that one fight, right? Not even including the Jermall Charlo fight. And you like, nope, right? So you turned that money down. right? David Benavidez was your mandatory a couple times before. That fight never happened then. So with that being said, you skipped up. You said, nope, I'm going to 175 and I'm going to fight Dimitri Bivol. Fuck that. I got all the belts at 168. I can stay at 168 and make a huge mega fight. Two Mexicans, David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez, right? All I got to do is knock off Jermall Charlo, which is another huge fight. But nah, I want to move up and I want to fight Dimitri Bivol. See, if Canelo Alvarez had thought that Dimitri Bivol was going to be as tough as he was, Canelo Alvarez would have chose to fight Jermall Charlo. See, Canelo Alvarez, this is my opinion, Canelo Alvarez, he moved up to fight Bivol because Bivol didn't look good in his last 2-3 fights. He ain't looked that good, right? Bivol looked like an opponent that was straight up and down. Even when David Benavidez talked about Bivol, he said, yeah, he a pretty good fighter, but he ain't nowhere near on the Canelo level. He says that, he pretty much, have a good 1-2, a good jab, and a good 1-2. That's what Canelo was seeing. That's what Eddie Reynoso was seeing. So they looked at Bivol, and plus Bivol wasn't the biggest light heavyweight. They scouted out Bivol. They said he's not that big. He could easily fight at 168. We could beat him. You know what I'm saying? We could come out, we could press him, we could hurt him. You know what I'm saying? We could wear him down, and we could take him out in the later rounds. And that's how Canelo Alvarez came out fighting. Usually, Canelo Alvarez, he'll come out, and he will try to fill you out for the first, 3-4 rounds. He fights slow. He'll fill you out. He didn't do that shit. If you look at the Bivol fight, he didn't do that shit. He came right out on Bivol. He was throwing hard shots. Every shot he was throwing hard shots. He was landing hard shots on Bivol, on his arms and shit, because he couldn't really land no flush shit but uppercuts. But it wasn't working. It did not work. And Canelo Alvarez, you can look at his face during the second half of the fight. He was not prepared mentally for what he had to go through. He wasn't prepared mentally for that shit. Because you know why? If you look at the look on his face, he had that same look that Caleb Plant had when he fought Canelo Alvarez. Y'all think I'm lying? Go back and watch the fight. Go back and look at, later on in the fight when Bivol was backing up Canelo up against the ropes. Look at Canelo's face. Look at his body demeanor. He didn't want to fight no more, but mentally he wasn't prepared for what he was facing. Just like Caleb Plant wasn't prepared when he fought Canelo Alvarez. Caleb Plant didn't know that Canelo was going to hit that hard. Caleb Plant, he wasn't prepared for that shit. But when you thrown in the smoke, you don't have no choice but to fucking swim or sink. Either sink or swim. And if you look at Canelo's face, man, he looked like he had that look on his face like, damn, I done got in some shit that I can't get out of. And he didn't want to fight no more. Yeah, he was tired, but Bivol mentally beat the fight out of him. It wasn't like Bivol was just beating him up. You know what I'm saying? Because Canelo, he was blocking a lot of that shit. He was, he was weaving a lot of those punches. But the thing, and just like me and Coach was talking about last night, right? When I was talking with Coach, the thing with Bivol, the game plan that he had is when he saw that Canelo was very hard to hit, because Bivol said it himself. He said, man, I didn't know that his defense was that good. It was hard for me to hit him. But see, Bivol was able to make the adjustment. What Bivol did is he continued to use his jab, and then he didn't just throw a 1-2 like we usually see him throw, or a 1-2-3-4. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do that. He was throwing 5 and 6, 7 shot combinations at a time. You feel me? He was throwing 5, 6, and 7 shots at a time. So if he missed the first 4 shots, well, he landed in the 5th and the 6th. Canelo couldn't dodge all of that shit. Now, one thing I did want to see Bivol do is go to the body more. I think that if Bivol had went to Canelo's body more, he could have won even easier than what he did. And I see a lot of people say that Bivol won that fight easy. It was a cakewalk for Bivol. That wasn't an easy fight. It wasn't an easy fight, but he did win clearly, because when I went back and watched that fight, it was a lot of close rounds in that. Well, it wasn't a lot of close rounds in the early part of the fight, right? Rounds like 1 through 5, it was some close rounds in that fight, right? Close rounds that Bivol won the majority of them still. You know, Canelo won some rounds. I think Canelo won 3 or 4 rounds in that fight, right? But he didn't win no rounds clearly, right? He didn't win no rounds clearly to where you was able to say, oh, yeah, Canelo won that round easily. He definitely won that round. Nah. It was only about maybe 1 or 2 rounds in that whole fight where you could say that he won clearly. Now, he won some rounds that was close, but he ain't win no rounds that was clear. Bivol had rounds that he was winning clearly to where you couldn't, no matter what you did, you could give the round to Canelo because Bivol was winning that shit clearly. That was the difference. What's happening with it? KQKC Boxing Network. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, KQ in the building, the OG. KTB says, laugh out loud. It was easy. What the fuck you talking about? Well, that's from somebody that couldn't punch his way through a motherfucking wet paper bag. I bet you ain't never been in the ring a fucking minute in your life, but you gonna talk about something was easy. What the fight wasn't easy. It wasn't the hardest fight, no, but it wasn't easy. You know what I'm saying? You know, but I mean, I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it 100. I don't have no agenda. You feel me? Like some of you motherfuckers do. I don't have no agenda. The fight wasn't no easy fight. You know what I'm saying? He won the fight clearly, but it wasn't no easy fight. Easy fight is you want to talk about an easy fight is motherfucking Devin Haney when he fought Linares for the first 10 rounds. That was an easy fight. Motherfucking Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez. That was an easy fight. Canelo Alvarez losing to Bivol, that wasn't no easy fight for Bivol. Now, it wasn't the fucking toughest, most grueling fight, but it wasn't easy. Now, did he win clearly? Yeah, he won clearly. But it was competitive rounds, you know. You know what I'm saying? It's just Canelo, he just couldn't keep, well, if I'm tapped, why are you in here watching me? I didn't call you on the phone and tell you to come to my show and watch me. You in here. If I'm such cap. You feel me? But see, the thing is Canelo was front running the whole fight. He was front running the whole fight. And if you want a link, you know what I'm saying? If you really want that smoke, I can give you a link. You know what I'm saying? If we want to do that, I mean, I don't just type in the comments that you want a link. That's all you got to do. You feel me? If you really want smoke, type in the comments and let me know that you want a link. And I got everything you think you want. But like I said, man, Canelo was a front runner. You feel me? Canelo would come out in the rounds and he'll fight real hard. He'll do what he could for the first 30 seconds and then he just faded. You know what I'm saying? He faded because he's not used to having someone be able to stand up and take his shit like that. He ain't used to that. He used to, once he started hitting you with that heat, he used to fighters, you know, they'll get the backpedaling and they'll, you know what I'm saying, they'll get scared. Like I said, Caleb Plant is one of my favorite fighters, but I got to tell the truth. I got to let the truth be told. Caleb Plant, once Caleb Plant started feeling Canelo power, his whole motherfucking game plan changed. He started fighting different. He was, you know what I'm saying, he was pity-patting and getting the fuck up out of there. Bivol didn't do that. Bivol was standing right in the pocket with that motherfucker, blocking that shit with his wrists and his elbows and all of that shit. and Bivol was bam, 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 and coming back at him. Anytime Canelo thought that he had some shit for Bivol, Bivol was coming back with 7, 8 punches of his own. And maybe he might have missed the first 4 or 5 of them, but 6 and 7 was landing. And that was the difference. And Canelo couldn't penetrate Bivol's defense. And y'all, and what that reminded me of is, and I'm not comparing the fights, but it reminded me when Isaac Cruz fought Gervonta Tank Davis. Even though Gervonta Tank Davis won that fight clearly, I only gave Isaac Cruz 3 rounds. But Gervonta Tank Davis wasn't able to penetrate Isaac Cruz's defense. Isaac Cruz had that tight defense, and he wasn't able to do nothing but really hit him on his fucking arms and his elbows and shit. You feel me? And that's the same thing that happened with Canelo and Bivol. Canelo couldn't land shots. They're not scoring. They're not giving you points for landing on the elbows and the arms because those are considered as block shots. You're not penetrating. You're not getting through with those. Yeah, Bivol, yeah, that shit still hurt. But Bivol was strong enough, right? And his body mass was strong enough to take those shots. Everybody else Canelo been in the ring with, their defense wasn't tight like that. Or they weren't strong enough to take that shit. Caleb Plant was blocking a lot of that shit on his arms and rolling with the shots. But Caleb Plant's body frame and he just wasn't strong enough to take that shit. So when he kept hitting Caleb Plant during the later rounds, what happened? Caleb Plant's hand dropped. His hand started to drop. And then Canelo started landing more and more. Canelo was tearing his body up. You know what I'm saying? Tearing his motherfucking rib cage up. But see, if you go back and watch Bivol shit was so tight, he was able to block the body shots and the head shots at the same time. He kept his elbows tucked in tight, and he kept his defense tight the whole night. And Canelo wasn't ready for that shit. And he shows that he still only fights in spurts. Every time he tried to press the action, and when he did have Bivol backpedaling, Bivol still was coming back with shit. And that was the big difference. That was the huge difference in the fight, man. So I'm gonna address that shit, right? A lot of people is coming out, right? Wherever they heard the news from, saying that Bivol said that he would go down to 168 pounds and fight Canelo, right? Well, Bivol didn't exactly say that shit. He says that he would like Canelo's belt at 168, but this is what Bivol said, because we can't get it twisted and flip what the man said. The man was asked, you know, would he fight Canelo at 168? And he said before he said he was willing to fight Canelo at 168 pounds, and he said before he knew that he could make 168 with no problem. But he said now he would have to think about it, because he says since the pandemic and all that, he said he started putting on weight, and he says he don't know how easy he can make 168. So he says that he'll really have to think about fighting Canelo at 168. So the man did not say that he's going to fight Canelo at 168, or he was willing to go down and fight Canelo at 168. And he also said that if that was the case, they're going to have to pay him, right? He won the fight, and they really going to have to pay him to do that. So, you know, let's get it. Let's not come out here and run with stories and make shit that he ain't really say all that. You know what I'm saying? So to me, he said what he said. He said that he would have to think about that. You know what I'm saying? He don't know. He don't know if he can make that weight comfortably. You know what I'm saying? And if he will, money talking bullshit walk, right? Now, I see him making that weight if they're going to pay him a lot. Knockout boxing, what's happening with it? What it do? If they pay him a whole lot of money, yeah, he'll go down there. You feel me? But they're going to have to pay him. And Canelo ain't going to be able to pull all that A-side shit that he pulled in this fight. Now, you know, is Bivol really that good? That's another question. Is Bivol really that good? Or was he just a bad stylistic matchup for Canelo Alvarez? And is Bivol really, really that good? He looked good that night, but he could have just been a bad stylistic matchup for Canelo Alvarez. Because like I said earlier, it's other news coming out saying that saying that Canelo Alvarez is saying that, 175 is just too big for him. 175 is all of a sudden now it's too big for him, but before cruiserweight wasn't too big for him. How things change. My man Knockout says, all facts, brother. Another huge difference is that Bivol's feet were so much more agile and his lateral movement was giving Canelo fits. And that's exactly what I talked about the other night too, right? We seen that Canelo has very great upper body movement, but his feet are slow, very slow. You feel me? When Bivol was using his lateral movement, Canelo didn't have no answer for it. And Bivol was able to use lateral movement and then come and throw 6 and 7 shot combinations. And Canelo, he wasn't prepared for that type of shit. Because like I said, Bivol, he don't show that consistently in all of his fights. They thought they were going to be able to press Bivol and press him out and get him up out of there in the later rounds. And it didn't happen like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to drop some links. And if I'm gonna let y'all and I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna let 3 people get on the panel. After that, you know what I'm saying, only 3 people can get on the panel. So once there's 3 people up here, I ain't letting nobody else on. I know I usually do it different, but I'm gonna let 3 people get on. So I'm gonna drop the link. Hold on. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm going to drop the link and I'm going to pin it in the chat. So let 3 people get on. Whoever get on, it is what it is. But if I don't know who you is and I ain't seen you before, I'm not letting you get on. Unless you show your face. You got to show your face in the background. Hold on. Y'all give me a second. All right, cool. We back. Let me get this super chat. My man Zenith360 in that super chat. Man, I appreciate you. He says, proof Canelo thought Bivol was a cherry. His guarantee was only 15 mil, 30 mil less than Charlo offered. No way in hell he'd accept it if he thought he'd lose. The zone being a better deal narrative is dead. Right. Like I said, it's the proof is in the pudding. What's happening with y'all?
What's up with it? What's up with it, my bro? Salute to you. What's up with it, coach?
Oh man,
brothers, how y'all do?
Yeah, I'm living, man. Man, how y'all feeling today? How y'all feeling today?
Bro, man, good, bro. Like we got like a couple more days. Probably talking about this Canelo. Then shit, we got undisputed this weekend, bro. It's great time to be a Bucks fan, dog. I can't complain about shit. Other than Canelo lost me my goddamn money, and I lost my push-up base. I gotta do some goddamn push-ups tomorrow. Other than that, I'm good.
Right, man. You already know all the shit I was talking. You know what I'm saying? Coach didn't let me have it. Every time I get on the phone, he didn't let me have it when I went on live the other night. He let me have it over the phone, but I gave him his flowers. Coach is right. But now, right? He showed that he wouldn't, to me, he proved by the way that he's moved that if he thought that Bivol was going to be that tough, he would have never took the fight. And one thing is, I know that Eddie Reynoso would have never let him take that fight. And they would have never picked Bivol. But now, right, this is this was good for boxing, not because Canelo lost, and I'm just excited that Canelo lost because I ain't excited that he lost. Because, like I said, I picked him to win. You feel me? I picked him to win, and months ago, probably like a month and a half ago, I had put a lot of money on him, so he fucked me off out of a lot of money that I had been put up. It was waiting. I was waiting to cash in on that shit, and it didn't go like that. To keep it real with y'all, but.
Facts.
But you know what I'm saying? But this is good for boxing now because the truth will be told now. It's time to let the truth be told. Because now if Canelo continues to skip around, if he go back to 168, which he look like he's gonna do, he's undisputed. If he continues to skip around, and we know that he has the sanctioning bodies in the palm of his hands. So if all of a sudden he got these motherfucking mandatories pop up that don't nobody want to see, and oh well, that was his mandatory. We know how the boxing game go. Oh, motherfucking Luke Keebler and Liam, that was his mandatory. Well, what do you expect Canelo to do? Nah. We ain't going for that. We're not going for that no more. You know what I'm saying? So Demetrius Andrade, Jermall Charlo, he move up, or David Benavidez.
It ain't even no David Benavidez. It ain't no Jermall Charlo.
No. I'm naming 3 opponents, right? I don't want him to
you got 3. You got another one up in there you forgot about. Who got the WBA regular belt?
Who that?
David Morrell.
Talking about David Morrell.
Nah, bro, we ain't talking about no David Morrell. But David Morrell got 7 fights.
He is mandatory.
Yeah, but that ain't happening. Nah, I'm talking about big name fighters that we know that Canelo Alvarez ain't finna fight no motherfucking David Morrell that got 6 fights. That ain't happening.
But he fighting either Triple G or John Ryder next.
Huh? Yeah, he ain't got.
He fighting Triple G or John Ryder next, bro.
What I'm saying, right? You got 1 fight, right? If you go and fight Triple G, okay, you already had that shit. We know that's some bullshit, but we already had that shit in the contract, whatever. After that, the truth must be told. Your back is up against the wall. You don't have no more get out of jail free cards. You don't have no more duck cards. Whatever y'all want to call it. Whatever y'all want to call it. So this is good for boxing because now everybody will find out how good Canelo Alvarez really is. I think that he a very good fighter. I think he a great fighter, you know. But now a lot of his flaws that had been covered up for a long time since he fought, you know, see, a lot of these flaws hadn't really came out to the surface since he fought Mayweather in Lara, right? You know what I'm saying? We seen them, but they hadn't come out to the surface really since way back then. You feel me? He pretty much been dominating and beating everybody pretty easily since then. You feel me? Now, these fighters got tape. They got tape on you to where now it's like, okay, well, he was young back then. A lot of people think he's a whole different fighter because a lot of them fights, he looked like a different fighter. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he polished up a lot of those, you know, holes he had in his game. Of course, he still has slow feet, but like I said, a lot of that shit a lot of those fighters that he was fighting, they weren't able to bring it to the surface. Now it's been brought to the surface. You know what I'm saying? So when you now we're gonna really be able to see how good you really are. And all of these excuses, this vegan shit, I don't want to hear that shit. You feel me? I don't want to hear, oh man, it's because of his vegan diet. Nah. Because everybody I know that go on the vegan diet, they tell me that they have way more energy than they did when they was eating meat. So ain't no way, because your vegan diet, you should have ran out of stamina. Because now all of a sudden you're on the vegan diet. Everybody I ever talked to that was on the vegan diet, they tell me, man. Hold on. I'm gonna let y'all cook, bro. I'm gonna give it to y'all. Give me 1 second. Hold on. And I'm gonna pass it to you, knockout, and I'm gonna go to coach and I'm gonna go to OTB. But everybody that I've ever heard, they tell me, man, I feel a lot better. I have way more energy on the vegan diet, right? And when you look at their body, look at somebody that got on the vegan diet. They might not be as bulky, but them motherfuckers be way more ripped up than they was when they was eating meat. They might not be as bulky, massive, but they be a lot more ripped, right? Muscle tone. And Canelo, he wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't that. He didn't look like he used to look that he usually looked when he go up or down in weight. Whatever y'all want to call. Oh man, he moved up in weight. Okay, go look at him when he moved up in weight when he fought Kovalev. Motherfucker he was cut up like a bag of dope. Now
I'm actually watching that. I'm watching that fight right now.
Right. And another thing that we do know, and I'm not accusing him of nothing, but I'm just saying, right? We know that he had to take 10 weeks of drug testing against Caleb Plant, right? And he turned around and he had to take however many weeks of drug testing, right, against Bivol. So bam, bam, we know his last 2 fights, he was body tested, right, seriously. And his body looked different now. His body looked different now. I'm talking about his shit look night and day now. Now, before that, who he fought, before that, we don't know what the drug testing was like. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how extensive that shit was. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to accuse him of nothing, but I mean, shit, people talking about it. And I was the first one that brought the shit up that like, man, this motherfucker look different. His body don't look the same. And I'm just saying that, but yeah, now the truth must be told. And Knockout, go ahead.
So yeah, bro. So you broke that down very good. I got a little bit of echo coming from somebody. But the other thing that I'm hearing that you also spoke on it. That's all good. The other thing you hit that I want to speak on and elaborate on and make 2 key points I feel like everyone needs to hear is this notion that now all of a sudden Canelo Alvarez was too small. Because you're right. They're talking about the vegan shit. And the other thing is he too small. You know, the first thing they'll do, they'll try to masquerade an excuse as a fact and say, well, you know, credit to Dimitri Bivol, but Canelo was just daring to be great. He was too small. So when I hear that, bro, I immediately think of 2 things. Number one, first and foremost, Bivol's size, you can point to like 4 or 5 other things as to why he won that fight that have nothing to do with how big he is. Like, if you're going to talk about why Canelo lost, number one, you just spoke about it, bro. He gassed in the 4th round. Bivol was clearly in better shape than him. That would be point number one. Point number 2 would be Bivol's work rate. He was throwing more punches than the busier fighter. Number 3 would be his feet and his legs and how much more agile and athletic he was in his ring generalship. Number 4 would be his defense, bro. How Canelo couldn't land a clean shot on him. Number 5 would be his jab, how he kept a busy jab. So I can think about 5 things off of the top of my head as to why Canelo lost to Dimitri Bivol that have nothing to do with how big Dimitri Bivol is. So that's the first point. The second point is I was wondering and I was asking, and this is a rhetorical question because I feel like I know the answer to these questions, but I'm asking them anyway, just so all these people that are making excuses can hear it, right? So if Canelo Alvarez is too small for Dimitri Bivol, my next question would be, okay, so what are your thoughts on when Canelo Alvarez got runner-up to knockout of the year and he knocked out Amir Khan? Because you know Amir Khan started off his career at 140 pounds and was a 140-pound champion. So are the same people that are calling Canelo Alvarez too small for 175 today, were they saying that Amir Khan was too small for 154 pounds when he got put to sleep by Canelo Alvarez? Or what about Shane Mosley, who started his career at lightweight and was a lightweight champion, and Canelo fought him at 154 pounds? Were people saying, the same people calling Canelo Alvarez small today, were they saying that Sugar Shane Mosley, not only was he too small for Canelo when Canelo beat him, was he also too old? Because Canelo fought Shane Mosley when Shane Mosley was 40 years old. So if you're calling Canelo small today, were you calling those fighters small when he fought them? And then what about Josecito Lopez? What about Josecito Lopez? Josecito Lopez started off his career at 130 pounds, and he's a career 147-pounder. Canelo Alvarez brought him up to 154 and knocked him down like 2 or 3 times and stopped his ass in the 5th round. Was everyone that was calling Canelo Alvarez too small this week, were you saying that Josecito Lopez was too small for him? Because if you weren't saying that Shane Mosley was too old and too small, if you weren't saying that Josecito Lopez was too small, and if you weren't saying that that Amir Khan was too small, and then I can even add James Kirkland, who was a 147-pounder, that Canelo won knockout of the year in 2015 against James Kirkland, won that shit. Won knockout of the year against James Kirkland, who was a 147-pounder coming up to 154 pounds. When Canelo put his ass to sleep, was everyone that's calling Canelo Alvarez too small today, were you saying that James Kirkland was too small for him? If you weren't saying that about James Kirkland, Amir Khan, Shane Mosley, or Josecito Lopez, I don't want to hear shit about Canelo Alvarez being too small. He got beat, and I hate to admit it because I love getting my picks right. Everyone up here on the panel know that shit. Everybody in the chat that mess with my channel know that shit. Don't nobody want to come up here and be wrong, bro. But at the end of the day, we got to be real. And that man, Canelo Alvarez, got his ass whooped by a better fighter, bro. Size be damned, bro. Size be damned. That was like number 6 or 7 on the list as to why Canelo Alvarez got his ass whipped. It ain't like Dimitri Bivol went on there and was weighing on his ass, holding him, clinching him, you know what I'm saying, just beating his ass down, walking through Canelo shots and shit, you know what I'm saying, Canelo hitting his ass flush and clean, and Bivol just too goddamn strong, just walking through power shot after power shot and beating Canelo ass. You want an example, and this is one of my favorite fighters. Someone that was too big and too strong was Gervonta Davis when he fought Leo Santa Cruz. Leo just hitting him clean and shit. Tank just walking through that shit and punishing his ass. That's a fighter that's too big and too strong. Dimitri Bivol was too good and too skilled. And that's all I got to say, bro. I'm out.
Well said. Well said. Coach?
Well, on the other end of the spectrum, they wasn't saying that when he fought Callum Smith, because Callum Smith's 6'3", and he probably blew up to 190 pounds. They wasn't saying that shit when he wasn't saying that shit when he fought Kovalev. They wasn't saying it then either. So the excuses are monuments of nothing. I don't want to hear that bullshit. The next thing is, I kind of just like everybody was laughing. So you're gonna compare Dimitri Bivol to Shakur Stevenson? Yes, and it's not the same style, but he keeps range. And if you can keep range on Canelo because and you got good feet, you can beat him and got enough pop to make him respect you. And that's what he did. He outboxed him, point blank, period. That's it. Just like I said he was gonna do. His feet are great. That dude has great feet. He gets inside. He threw enough punches, like I told you on the phone, Keith. The only problem I had was I thought he should have went downstairs more, but he fought more cautious. And now, all of the flaws that I said Canelo had, Dimitri Bivol, I thank you. Now everybody can see what I've been saying. And the reason why he can't fight David Benavidez and win, because he's going to get fucking destroyed. And the reason I say that is because to beat head movement when you don't have good feet, you throw more than 3 punches. You get on top. Your head can't move that fast. You're going to start eating shit. You're going to start eating shit. And if you get in the high guard with David Benavidez, just like I was saying before, with that reach he got, that hard-ass jab he got, much harder than Dimitri Bivol's, he's going to continue to pound him. And if you get on the ropes, you dead meat. He's going to beat the fuck out of Canelo. And it's going to be easy work. Listen to these words. It's going to be easy work because of his hand speed and his power. And he will not neglect the body. That's one thing about him. He's not going to neglect the body. And I'm not saying he's going to knock him out cold, but it's going to get to a point in that fight, if he fight him, that the referee going to have to step in and stop the fight. That's what's going to happen. And the next thing is when Canelo Alvarez, all of these people that's, oh, you're hating. No, I'm telling y'all facts. That's all it is to it. These are facts. I said what was going to happen, and I told everybody what was going to happen, and nobody believed me because of the skill level. You can't box and not have good feet. He's a power puncher, and he throw a lot of hooks. Canelo was totally negated from the jab. Why was that? He didn't throw a lot of jabs in that fight because Dimitri Bivol was going to come over with that overhand right, and he knew that right hand was strong. And he timed Canelo, and he's very, very intelligent. Very, very intelligent. And now I hear people saying, oh, nobody was talking about Bivol. Not true.
They ain't talking about you. They ain't talking about you. They talking about other people because you've been said that shit, and I vouch for that shit. You've been arguing with us for months.
He's a very good fighter. Yes, he's a very good fighter, man. That dude has very good skills. His arms don't get down. He has timing is perfect. He wait for you to throw shots, and he was itching for Canelo to start it off. And he did what he was supposed to do. He wasn't staying on the ropes. He would let Canelo get off, block that shit, and turn. And then what he started doing was throwing that left hook instead of the right hand. He was throwing a left hook off the ropes. And it was catching Canelo, a la Floyd Mayweather, check hooks. See? So his coach is very good. Gennady, whatever his name is, they very good. I mean, Canelo clearly got exposed, and people can say whatever they want. He's still a great fighter. Yes, he's a great fighter against good fighters, not really elite fighters. And it's gonna be a problem for him. If he this is what I'm enjoying. The fact that you gotta either deal with Benavidez and Boo Boo, or you gotta drop them belts. Now, if he dropped them belts, we all know what the deal is then. If he dropped them belts and don't defend them belts against them cats, because I'm suspecting that he gonna beat Zach Parker, you know what I'm saying? And I know David Benavidez is gonna beat the shit out of Lemieux and become interim champion.
Week, coach.
So either
that's
you're gonna drop,
week,
yes, you're gonna either drop them belts. Yeah, that's next week. Either you're gonna drop them belts and everybody gonna know you're a big fucking duck, or you're gonna fight them people. That's what you're gonna do. And Eddie Reynoso, they know what they're looking at. And before this fight, I told y'all, I think Eddie Reynoso and them, they think it's sweet. I told you, I said they don't think that boy has the skills that he has. I don't know why they didn't think that, because you can see this guy's career, you can see the things he do in the ring. But that go to show you, your trainer's not as smart as everybody think he is. And keeping a distance, keeping a jab on that Eddie Reynoso style, and have good feet, you beat their ass all day. Shakur showed it the week before, and Bivol showed it this week.
Yeah, you called that shit.
I told you it was gonna look like that, though, Coach.
Huh?
I told you it was gonna look like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it ain't the same style. You right, it ain't the same style.
That jab and the distance control.
But it's the same. Yeah, it is.
Let me
bread and butter.
Let me read these super chats real quick.
Yeah.
Let me read these super chats real quick. My man Zenith 360. Damn, he say Canelo has more recent KO at 175 than Bivol. Yeah, you right. You right, because Bivol wasn't knocking. He wasn't stopping. He had, I think, like his last 7 fights have been went to distance. And my man Mr. Mechanical says Canelo heading to get some magic meat right now. He says that way everyone talking about him after the fight. He said the way that everyone talking about him after the fight, he gonna get on that meat. I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna pass it to I'm gonna pass it. If I'm fighting Canelo, I'm making sure that is at least 10 weeks of drug testing, extensive drug testing, nothing less. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass it on. That's all I'm gonna say. Ain't no short notice. Ain't no short notice. Ain't no 4-5 week notice. None of that. Nah.
Facts.
So I mean, OTB, you go.
Hold on. I want to say one more thing, OTB, before you get started.
Go ahead, Coach.
All of these people that sit here with that bullshit. Well, they haven't fought each other. They haven't fought this one. Who the fuck John Ryder fought? Who the fuck he fought? You know, but that's okay, because they want their favorite fighter to fight easy fights. Well, I want my favorite fighter to fight the toughest fights, to show that he the best. That's why I said, once again, I got David Benavidez over everybody at 168. That's it.
Well, when it comes to that, Coach, you know what I mean? Shit, Boo Boo been as mandatory twice. Hell, he fought for David Benavidez belt after he got stripped. So shit, obviously I don't think he want to fight them, but I gotta give credit to Dimitri Bivol for fighting 12 rounds, man. Like shit, it took one of them punches, and Joe Smith landed his overhand right, and so did Pascal, and he fought and stayed out of the pocket and fought his fight for 12 rounds, man, and he was in shape to do it. So I got to give the credit to him for doing so, because I can show you where he didn't get caught in the pocket, and he done let fighters close the distance on him before, where he done took little lapses off, but he didn't take none off in that fight. So I really got to give him the credit that's due in winning that fight, and not make I ain't for no Canelo excuse party, none of that shit. But I will say that now he damn near is back against the wall. Now you got to fight these fights, man. You got to fight these guys, man. Ain't no way around it. Go ahead, Key. That's all I had. Shit.
I mean, let me say this real quick too, bro. Like I heard of David Benavidez. I heard, Charlo. I heard that, bro. But I just want to let everybody know that after Floyd Mayweather put hands on that man fought Angulo. After a tough ass fight with Erislandy Lara, that man fought James Kirkland. After his tough ass fights that he had with Gennady Golovkin, that man fought Rocky Fielder. So y'all can think that he gonna go do a Dimitri Bivol rematch or take on some tough competition after this fight if you want to, but history shows us get ready for a 40-something-year-old Triple G or get ready for John Ryder, bro. That's all Get ready for those.
You're gonna have to drop them belts then.
And that's gonna be a tainted legacy, man. That's more tainting on your legacy. That's a whole nother asterisk next to your name. You talking about being legendary, and you about to have that many other good fighters who arguably might end up in the Hall of Fame. I mean, if these guys end up in the Hall of Fame, a Charlo, a Benavidez, then I mean, you gonna have a hell of an asterisk by your name, homeboy.
I ain't saying he ain't gonna fight him. I'm saying he ain't gonna fight him next, like no time soon, like maybe 2023, but 2022, that shit ain't happening, bro.
Well, I mean, let's say he got the Triple G fight, right? Like I said earlier, we all know that's some pure bullshit, but he already had that shit kind of inked in before this happened, because they was kind of, you remember, they was talking real slick. Oh, I'm busy. Let them other guys fight each other. I don't know what they're going to do, but I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? They was talking real shit, right? Because they was already looking past Dimitri Bivol. They already had won that fight in their head. Oh, I'm busy. Well, now he just derailed all your motherfucking plans. So you're going to go back and you're going to get that smoke, right, with Bivol again, or you're going to fight Triple G. Okay, that shit was already inked in, cool. But after that, nah. If he don't fight Demetrius Andrade, goddamn Jermall Charlo, or David Benavidez, specifically David Benavidez, if he don't fight one of those three fighters at 168 after this, he's going to be exposed. Now it's not going to be no argument to where people, now he still kind of got an argument, some of the moves that he make. It's not going to be able to be an argument. I don't give a fuck who you are. You're not going to be able to argue with me and tell me that he ain't skipping around certain opponents if he come back and fight a motherfucking John Ryder or somebody. He's just not.
And his legacy going to take that.
Right. Yeah.
Now that you saw what I saw, you still holding on to that bet or what?
What, with him and David Benavidez?
Yes, sir.
Well, let me tell you what I saw. I saw that, he still fights in spurts. Shit that wasn't exposed. Like I said, like I'm telling, when I say that it's certain things that Dimitri Bivol was able to bring out and expose the flaws that Canelo still has, he did that. He the volume punching. But you can't be a volume puncher, right, against Canelo if you can't take his power. Yeah, can you hear me? Y'all hear me?
Yeah, bro. I heard you.
Okay.
I heard you loud and clear.
Yeah, definitely.
You can't be an effective volume puncher against Canelo if you can't take his power. Bivol was able to take his power with tight defense, pick his shots off, and block all of that shit, right? Now, David Benavidez presents the same threat. David Benavidez is a volume puncher. I don't know if he's strong as Bivol, as far as physically as strong as Bivol. You know what I'm saying? But he throws punches in volume, in punches in bunches. He throws a whole lot of punches. He throws punches from different angles. Somebody got something in the background. Somebody got to put that shit on mute. Yeah, he throw punches from a lot of different angles. So David Benavidez is going to present Canelo Alvarez a whole lot of problems just with his volume that he throws alone, right? Because Canelo, he want to be able to fight at his own pace. He only fight in spurts. We've seen that. He don't have the gas tank to keep up with volume punches, but he do other things that'll slow you down. Now, David Benavidez, he going to press him. He going to throw a whole bunch of punches. His punches going to come from a lot of different angles, and he going to stay on your ass. David Benavidez is probably the biggest threat for Canelo Alvarez out of any of these fighters that we want to name. And it shows that Canelo Alvarez did not want to fight David Benavidez. He didn't want to fight him. But at the end of the day, he still has to get in the ring. Now, from seeing what coach is asking me, right? Basically, would I still take that bet? Or if they fought, would I go to a betting line and would I bet on Canelo Alvarez to beat David Benavidez? And the answer is no. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? That's a fight that I would sit out and I would just watch. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's a 50-50 fight. It's a 50-50 fight.
How about you, Knockout?
But let me read this super chat real quick, and then I'm gonna let you, A1 Hoops on say salute to the panel, kings, queens in the chat. He says we live tonight, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. My born day live. He said live slide through. Let's get it, y'all cooking. He says y'all cooking was a flamethrower on this. Man, salute to my man A1.
A1.
And happy birthday to the king A1 Hoops on. And make sure that we all go through and show him some love tonight, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yes, sir.
Happy birthday, bro.
Yeah. So, so now, like I said, I can't go what I saw and knowing that Canelo Alvarez, one of his kryptonites is a volume puncher that can take his power. Now, we still got to see if David Benavidez can take his power. If David Benavidez can, take the body punches that Canelo Alvarez and how Canelo Alvarez going to try to press him. We got to see if he can weather the storm.
He ain't going to be able to get in there to get to the body. Much taller
he might not. We still got to see the fight. But
harder jab.
But I'm going to say this.
But David drained out too.
I'm going to say this, y'all. Y'all need to quit running around because Dimitri Bivol at 175 pounds beat Canelo Alvarez. Y'all need to stop giving goddamn Jermall Charlo a victory off of that. Jermall Charlo ain't fought Canelo Alvarez. He ain't fought nobody near as good as Canelo Alvarez. And he ain't fought no. Stop saying, nor has David Benavidez, right? But I hear a lot of people saying, "Oh man, that's why that's why Charlo would have beat his ass." No, just because Bivol did it, don't mean that Charlo would have done it.
And Charlo don't jab that damn much.
It's not only that.
Two different stylistic fights, right? They're two totally different fighters. You got one fighter that's 160 pound fighter, right? You got another fighter that's the champ at 175. They have two totally different styles, and so you can't compare that. Stop giving Jermall Charlo a victory just because motherfucking Dimitri Bivol got the victory.
Not only that, there's one thing about it. You gotta be a dog. We talked about that on the phone. You gotta be a dog to fight Canelo. You can't go up in there and not be a dog. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be a dog. And I don't know if Jermall Charlo a dog. I know David Benavidez is a dog, so I don't know. But Knockout, I wanted to ask you the same thing because you, Money, and Keon was going to bet me on that fight. Bivol done fucked my money up with Benavidez. So what you say?
Man, I gotta see some more performances from Canelo. I'm worried about his gas tank. Like I hear what y'all saying about Charlo, but looking at that gas tank, bro, like I don't know what's different now in this training camp. If he fighting these, you know what I'm saying, tougher competition, he gets tired. Now more like what because everybody was talking about how his gas tank he got better than the moment he got tested. The moment that somebody gave him like some real resistance, bro, that gas tank looked shaky. So it's hard to be betting on. Like I need to see what he do in this next couple fights, bro, because you can't be like I understand like what people, but shit, you can't be no 4-round fighter like against no Benavidez or no Charlo or none of these dudes, bro, like that we know gonna be in good shape, that we know gonna have a pretty good work rate and able to keep pushing and keep fighting. And if they can take his power, bro, and he gassing out and shit, looking all tired, man, I don't know, bro. Like I went from like I favored Canelo heavy in that fight because of counter punching, head movement, and just the ability, you know, the experience. But I like Benavidez will get up there to like 60, 80 punches per round and shit, bro. Like and them hoes will be coming fast, and they ain't all just got super crack on them, but they all solid. And then he'll let them hoes go for real, for real. And so for Canelo, like, bro, like I'm to the point now looking at this little ass work rate and shit, bro. This man was throwing like 20, 30 punches per round against Bivol, bro. You throwing 20, 30 punches per round, bro. You need to either A, have some very favorable judging, or B, bro, you gonna have to hurt somebody. So he to the point where, like, bro, if he don't hurt these dudes, yeah, I got questions. So I don't know, man. I don't know if that fight get made. I'll consider it and make my pick. And then, you know, if we opposite, I always throw a pick out there and shit. But for right now, Canelo got me questioning everything about him till I see him fight again. And that's how it go, bro. You only as good as the last time we seen you fight. And right now, that man. And then the other thing is, I'm convinced now, bro. Like I don't think enough people are talking about this. I know y'all are, but bro, like. Canelo goes into every fight like at the highest level. Like who you got as a trainer right now, based off of the performances you've seen? Like let's talk about David Benavidez right now. You got Jose Benavidez Sr. or Eddie Reynoso is the better trainer right now? Cause I got Jose Sr. Do you got Eddie Reynoso or Ronnie Shields right now as a better trainer? Like so, Canelo going into these fights is he had a huge disadvantage in the corner. Cause I don't know if y'all heard Eddie. But I damn sure heard Eddie talking about use your experience, do it for your family. Like those was the instructions I was hearing. So I don't know what y'all was hearing, but that shit ain't gonna cut it, bro. That shit. So we got a fighter that got gas tank issues, a low ass work rate, that got a horrible, in my opinion. I ain't even gonna say horrible. A not top notch trainer in his corner. Shit, man, it's hard.
I want to say this,
shit.
and then I want to point something out that I pointed out the other night, right? When I was talking and breaking down this fight. This is one of the only fights in a long, long time that Canelo, he wasn't able to counterpunch Bivol. You really never seen at no point in that fight Bivol throw punches and then Canelo roll off them bitches and throw 3-4 punches back. He didn't do that. And so that lets me know if you're a volume puncher, right? If you can string together, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 punch combinations, Canelo's not going to be able to counterpunch you. He was too busy, right, bobbing and weaving on the defense for him to get those counterpunches off. We usually see one of the best things that Canelo does against punchers that's going to give you like a 1-2 or a 1-2-3, right? He'll block them shits. He'll pair him off, and then he gonna come back with fast, hard counter shots. We didn't see that. Now, again, right? Again, Benavidez is a fighter that can negate that shit. He can negate his counter punching also. And I see that, right? You need to watch fighters against certain styles of fighters to really, be able to assess these fights, and they'll bring out things or flaws in the fighter has, or a fighter that's been had, but you ain't seen it in a long time, so you might forget, right? Or you might say, well, maybe he just got better, or maybe he, but nah. That's why his work rate was so low, because he wasn't able to counterpunch with Bivol. Bivol hands was too fast, and David Benavidez presents that same threat.
And Bivol get active when he get on the line, man. When if you notice, man, when them 4, 5, 6, 7 punch combo. That shit was coming when they was directly in front of him. And shit, that's why Canelo couldn't. That's why we ain't seen him letting that punch in that fight. Cause like Coach say, dude got a high ring IQ. Cause he can control the line. And shit, if you notice, all of them punches was at an angle. Shit, where when you get in front of him, he getting active. And shit, if you ain't got no jab, the jab with him and close the distance that way, which Canelo don't. So yeah, I mean, it ain't like Bivol unbeatable neither. So, but if you don't got no jab to close the distance with him, man, if you're not gonna punch with him, then your ass is out. You're not just gonna up on him.
Let me say this, bro, and I don't want to be prisoner of the moment, but I truly believe this shit, like wholeheartedly, bro. Like, number one, if that had been Artur Beterbiev in that ring with Canelo, bro, he would have, bro, it would have been bad. He would have beat the dumb shit out of Canelo and stopped him badly, bro. And I'm on the verge,
bro.
I'm on the verge right now. That's cool. You can disagree. I'm on the verge right now, bro. Like, David Benavidez could possibly stop Canelo Alvarez, bro.
I agree there.
Like, but I'm almost there, bro. Like that's where I'm at. I don't know why you would disagree with Beterbiev,
because Beterbiev, he don't have an orchestrated. It's not an orchestrated pressure, bro. Like when you when you look at Bivol, man, shit, he shooting hooks to get you in front of him, and once you get in front of him, he about to goddamn it get that outside lead foot and shoot that straight. And then,
bro, Beterbiev,
he just about to come forward with a lot of pressure. But he coming
forward slowly. Educated, his boxing skills are highly underrated as a former Olympian. He got a good jab and he don't stop. And the one thing he got, bro, is this is what I worry about with Canelo now watching that fight. As the fight goes on with Beterbiev, bro, he gets stronger and his output turns up. And for me, watching what I just saw with Canelo, bro, that's a recipe for disaster, bro. Dudes that get stronger as the fight goes on, they can keep up their work rate, bro. Homie gassed out, bro. I don't know what they did. Maybe like they used to always try to get on Deontay Wilder, talking about he wasn't running, doing no road work. I don't know what they did for cardio in that camp this time, bro. I don't know.
It's not that, bro.
But he ain't have it, bro. He was tired of shit.
Yeah, after 12 minutes. He gassed out fast too.
You can't do that shit against Beterbiev. Beterbiev would have stopped him, bro. Badly.
I think he would have countered better BF though. Canelo got good timing too.
That would have been an instance where people could be like, yo, he was just too small for Beterbiev, bro. Like, that's what would have happened in that fight. Like, yo, he's just too small. Beterbiev beat the shit out of him, bro. Yeah, go ahead. My bad, coach.
What y'all don't understand is this. Canelo against these other fighters fight at his own pace. Them dudes are scared. So they fight at their own pace, at Canelo's pace. Against Bivol, and against Benavidez and against David Benavidez, who's not scared, they make you fight at their pace. You don't have a break. Canelo like to walk around the ring and all of this bullshit, put his hands down and relax a little bit. They don't give you that time. And David Benavidez is not going to give you that time. So what y'all saw was a product of matchmaking. That's what y'all saw. Guys, they know they gonna beat, and it ain't gonna take long, and it ain't gonna be hard to where they not gonna push Canelo and make him fight. They gonna fight at Canelo's pace, not at the elite guys like Bivol, Benavidez, Beterbiev, Benavidez. Benavidez is too big for sure, because Canelo can't hurt that dude. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. And he start pounding on Canelo to where it's gonna get to a point where and his work rate is high. He don't give you a break. He not gonna give you no break. Same thing with Errol Spence. They don't give you a fucking break. There's no breaks, nigga, until this round, that bell ring. That's it. That's the problem that everybody got fascinated. Oh, you saw what Canelo did? Yes, against bullshit opponents. These dudes were scared in the ring. Callum Smith ain't never fought like that in his fucking life from round 1 to 12.
Yeah.
So it's a difference, bro. And Canelo was fighting. He walking to him, just pounding on their arms, pounding and doing this. Well, you got a guy with good feet.
and you got a guy that's throwing a hard fucking enough jabs and knowing that right hand might come, I gotta be cautious because that motherfucker might crack me with that bitch because Bivol got a right hand. David Benavidez even said that, you know. So he had to be careful. And when he felt that respectable power, it was like, this ain't, I can't let this motherfucker hit me with this shit. So that's the difference that people don't understand. All people know Canelo knocking all these motherfuckers out and this and that, and he's fighting champions. But there's levels of champions. There's levels of champions. Rocky Fielding ain't did shit since, right? It's levels of champions. But nobody want to say that he's daring to be great. Nah, motherfucker, you thought you was gonna beat that fucking man. Y'all thought it was fucking sweet, and y'all got that ass handed to you because that dude got skills. Skills pay the bills, and he's disciplined. He ain't falling for none of your bullshit. I'm not going up in there and fight your fight. I'm gonna fight my fight, and I'm gonna beat your ass. You could call me to them ropes. Nah, I'm good right here. Come over here, nigga. You can call me to them ropes because I pieced your ass up before you got on them ropes. You forgot about that? I pieced your ass up. So no, I'm not going up in there. Come on, let's box. You know? So that's the difference, bro. And people don't understand. I've been saying this shit for a few years now. This dude is a made up fighter, bro. I'm not saying he's not a good fighter. Don't get me wrong. But to make him everything that all these people saying, he's great and this and this and that, bro, the cherry pick just went perfectly right. It went perfectly right. And the threats, they avoided them at all costs. They avoided them at all costs. He did the shit, took a franchise belt. Boo Boo was undisputed. Could have been undisputed at 160, bro. You could have been undisputed at 154. But we're going to cherry pick. We're going to get out of this situation. Let's find a way to get out of it, but not fucking taint our legacy and make us look bad. Soon as David Benavidez lost that belt, what happened? Mauricio, could you put that belt up in there also? Man, come on, man. I've been saying this shit, bro. Dude, he gonna look great because he is a good fighter. I'm not saying he's not a good fighter. And he's very strong. But all of this great shit like they was trying to make that dude out to be, that's why Floyd said what he said. Man, I was almost 40 years old and I cooked this dude.
Yeah, he ain't no fucking legend.
Hey, but I mean, did y'all see that Canelo, he got the fight beat out of him? Like I said, he wasn't just getting beat up all bad, but he got the fight beat out of him mentally. Right. You see, he didn't want to fight no more. Once that shit got to about like 10 rounds, he didn't want to fight no more. He ain't really had no more. And people like, oh, he was just tired. No, he was motherfucking, yeah, he was tired, but he was mentally tired too. It's funny how tables turn because the same shit happened to Caleb Plant. You seen Caleb Plant's whole, demeanor. His whole demeanor changed, right? And now turn around and the same shit happens to Canelo Alvarez. It's funny how shit work. I seen it in Canelo. I said, he don't want to fight no more. He don't want to fight no more. You seen when he backed up against the ropes and, you know what I'm saying? And he was calling Bitter Beef in, but he wouldn't do nothing. He didn't want to fight no more. He got the fight beat out of him. Mentally and physically, but more so mentally.
Just like Floyd when he fought Floyd.
So he ain't, you know what I'm saying? He ain't as solid as we all think he is, right? Because you see that he will get the fight beat. It happened with Floyd. Now it happened with now y'all seen it happen again with Bivol.
Lara took his foot off the gas. That's where Lara made the mistake.
Yeah. Because
that's why
he knew that Lara was kind of scared to get hit by him. You know what I'm saying? Lara was scared to get hit by him, and he knew that. But if you're not afraid of him, he ain't. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got that dog in him that we think he do. Now he do got dog in him, but not like we thought he did, because he will kind of, you know what I'm saying, give in. He gave in. He didn't have no more fight in him.
That's why I had to give it to Bivol, man. Bivol fought even rounds 11 and 12.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, when Lara took his foot off the gas pedal, you understand? He still fought, and you got to give it to Bivol for that.
But if you every Bivol fight, it don't change, bro. It don't change.
My man 817 Boxing B, he says there's title holders, then there's champions. He don't move. He says he don't move, champions do. He says a representation of this generation microwave success and truth avoidance. And yeah, he has avoided. I mean, the way he's moved, he's avoided certain fighters in certain fights. He has. My man Zenith says Canelo did not have fever blisters and back acne this fight for this. He said for the first time in years, his body didn't look like the Hulk this time like it did with Kovalev. His punches didn't have the same snap either. Now, his punches did have snap, and I agree with you on a lot of that shit you were saying, right? But his punches did have snap on them. Bivol said, yeah, man, he hit hard, but he couldn't hit me in my face. He was like, he was hitting me hard on my arms, and I felt it. You feel me? But he couldn't penetrate my defense. And he did say, right, after the second half, he said around 7, he said Canelo's punches didn't have the snap on it. When he started to fatigue, he didn't have the snap on his punches no more. And Bivol said he felt it. He said he felt his power getting lesser and lesser. And by like the 7th round, he said he just didn't have that snap on his punch. But he came out from the gate. See, he couldn't fight, like Coach said. He wasn't able to fight at his own pace. And he really didn't. He didn't try to. Because if y'all look at the fight, he came out from the gate throwing hard punches from the gate. And Canelo usually don't do that. He usually come out and he'll try to fight at his pace. You know, he'll come out and he'll start off real slow. Then he'll turn it up on you by like the 5th round. He came out on the gas, motherfucker, pressing the gas, pressing the issue from round 1. That's what surprised me about Canelo.
I like Teofimo.
Yeah, Teofimo did the same shit. Yeah, you're right.
They be pressing, man. They be pressing, and the more you do the more you keep them at distance, the more they do shit that's uncharacteristic. So shit, the more his ass couldn't get around that jab, he started loading up on his punches more. You know what I mean?
Missing gets you real tired. Missing gets you tired. Having to move your head that much and your body and your waist that much to get away
mentally,
punches
mentally too. It gets you tired, not only physically, but mentally, because then you start getting frustrated and, you know, and like Knockout said, what was they telling him in the corner? What adjustments was his coach telling him to make in the corner? I didn't hear none. I didn't hear Eddie Reynoso telling him specific adjustments to make, right?
Because there is none. There is none against Bivol.
He was overmatched.
Man, that's an adjustment. He could have goddamn it jab with him to close the distance on that jab. And then you just got to stay outside.
He wasn't using his jab. Exactly. And he wasn't using the jab. All he was doing, he wasn't using the jab. I've seen Canelo use a better jab than that, but he wasn't using it against Bivol. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't doubling enough to jab. He wasn't tripling enough to jab to get in. He was doing the same shit over and over. And he wasn't really going to the body as much as he usually do. Because he was afraid. He was afraid of the get back, what was coming back at him. Because Bivol has fast hands, and he knew that Bivol, after a while, he seen this man is finna stand here in the pocket, and he coming back with 5 and 6 shots. He kept Canelo on defense at all times. Even when Canelo was on offense, he kept Canelo worried about being on defense at all times. He just didn't fold like all the rest of these fighters fold. He didn't fold.
Facts.
Oh, and he boxed the shit out of him.
And they talking about a rematch. Nah, it ain't gonna be no rematch because Canelo we know how he moved. Eddie Reynoso, we know how he moved, and they can see that he is overmatched. I'm telling y'all, like Bivol said it himself. He said, I give myself probably like a 7 or 8. And why? Why? Because he said, I know that I could do a lot better. Bivol is going to be the one that make the adjustments that do a lot better if they rematch. He is. Bivol,
I agree.
I
agree with you there.
I could look at and I wasn't high on Bivol, so I ain't gonna act like y'all know how I was. I was talking the Jenga shit. saying that Bivol was a straight up and down fighter, that he wasn't that special. But styles make fights. Do I still think that Bivol can go in there and beat a Bitter Beef? I don't know. Do I think that he could beat a Zordo Ramirez? I'm picking Zordo. But styles make fights, and that's a horrible style for Canelo Alvarez, and they know that. That's why now they talking about, oh man, the size was just too big and this and that. Nah, he wasn't too big. He just had a horrible style for you. You can't beat him. You know what I'm saying? He gonna beat you worse if y'all fight again. That's just what it is.
I got Bivol over Bitter Beef. Yep.
I think Bivol beat Better Beef too. I wasn't impressed with Better Beef in his last fight against Marcus Brown. He's
strong as fuck. That's it.
He is, and he got a tank on him, man. That man fight hard the whole fight. Like that shit he had with Marcus Brown, that was impressive. Cause he kept bleeding and shit, and he kept fighting harder. Like Knockout say, he kept fighting hard as the fight went on. So
problem, he gonna eat a lot of shit coming from Bivol, and it's gonna hurt.
Fact.
I don't know. I'll take Bitter Beef in that fight. Bitter Beef, man, that motherfucker strong as an ox.
All right, we gonna get that fight.
And he hit hard. I like Zordo Ramirez too, because Zordo, you know, that's a good fight. I really want to see Bivol versus Zordo Ramirez. Fuck a Canelo Alvarez. We seen that fight already. We seen that Canelo can't beat him. Right now, we need to see Zordo Ramirez versus Bivol. I want to see that fight.
Zerto got hurt.
And Zerto fight this weekend, don't he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he do fight this weekend. Zordo do fight this weekend.
He got hurt. Fight.
Yeah. One wrong say he got Bitter Beef over everybody.
Well, he can. Bivol gonna box the fuck out of Bitter Beef.
Hell yeah. And Better Beef been cut before. That match gonna be ugly.
Yep. He done been on the campus before. Bitter Beef been.
I mean, that don't mean shit.
He gonna catch
shit. That don't mean you can't say that, coach, because Bivol, his last fucking 7 fights or last 8 fights then went to decision.
It don't matter.
Say that he gonna stop Bitter Beef. He not stopping Bitter Beef. I don't see that.
He might not stop him, but I guarantee he gonna shit out of him.
Yeah, I don't see him stopping him, but I think he won that fight.
I'll favor, like I said, I'll favor Bitter Beef.
Okay.
Motherfucker just too strong, man.
Motherfucker, your face can't keep getting punched up.
What you say?
Your face can't keep getting punched up. I watch the way he fights the brute, and he don't have his skill level is, but it ain't nothing that Bivol can't handle. Boxing and shit, and he gonna run it like do with that wild ass. He ain't gonna eat. That's what's gonna happen.
It might. It's a great fight that needs to happen. Zordo Ramirez in the mix too with either one of them. That's a great fight.
We got to see what happened with Joe Smith.
Fight at 175 to happen. You know, Canelo. He tried to test the water. He tried to cherry pick who they thought would be the easiest victim, and that shit turned out wrong. We've seen this shit. Now we ain't gonna act like Canelo the only one that's done shit like this, and the shit turned out wrong. We've seen it happen throughout boxing history.
Yeah.
Fighters trying to cherry pick because they think it's a show win, and the shit don't turn out like it's supposed to for them. And Canelo, he was just the latest victim of it.
Watch this Rock'em Sock'em Robot shit gonna go down with Joe Smith and watch that shit.
Frank De Niro says,
"Great that's what I said."
Bivol wants winner of Arthur Bitter Beef and Joe Smith. Yeah, I heard him say that too. I heard him say that. I mean, that's only right. That'll be for Undisputed. Yeah. For Undisputed, it's only right. He deserved to go for Undisputed. You know what I'm saying? He beat the biggest name in boxing right now, and he deserved that. They got to give him that smoke. That fight gonna happen. You know, Canelo, they got Canelo up out of the way. We ain't got to worry about him. Oh, man, is Canelo going to fight at 175? If he going to do this, is he going to do that? Nah, they got his motherfucking ass up out the way. Now they can get on and, you know, go on about their business and do what they need to do at 175.
Yep,
without him disrupting shit.
All right, little boy, go back. Pat him on his back down. Go back down.
We know what they gonna push for. They gonna push for Better Beef and Bivol.
Yeah, but
They
that's
gonna want that European money. That's gonna be a big fight over there.
Got to get past Joe Smith, and Joe Smith can crack, bro.
I think that he gonna stop Joe Smith. I think he gonna stop Joe Smith.
He might, but don't get hit because he might get fucking flat himself.
That's a stylistic matchup that favored Bitter Beef just because he's strong as a fucking ox. Now Joe Smith is strong too, but he ain't cracking like Bitter Beef, and he ain't as strong as Bitter Beef. Like my man Jawan Ramos said earlier, he said Bitter Beef is pound for pound, right? The strongest fighter in boxing. He is. He's pound for pound the strongest fighter in boxing, and might be the strongest fighter in boxing just all out. That motherfucker's strong.
Yeah, he is strong as an ox.
I mean, he's strong as fuck, but I mean, your face getting punched and hit hard, that you can't lift weights for your head.
And that's why I said I look to see how much, this Joe Smith fight take out of Better Beef coming into that Bivol fight. Like, let's see which Better Beef show up for Joe Smith. Because that fight go on too long and he in for another rock'em sock'em fight with Joe Smith, man. Bivol can own the advantage just because Better Beef ain't young neither.
Nah, he not. My man Jawan Romo said Benavidez needs to move his fat ass up and fight Bivol, Zordo, Smith, and Better Beef. Man, I don't agree with that because as long as he can make the weight, he can fucking fight at whatever weight he want to, as long as he make the weight.
That must be a Ducknello fan.
No, that's that's Juan Ramos. Man,
he cool.
Fan, All right.
Nah. He just a huge, he from Houston, so he a huge, Jermall Charlo fan.
Nah, fuck that. Let Jamal get up in there with the fucking Mexican Ecuadorian monster. Fuck that. Let him get up in there with him. Fuck all that. You like Jamal against him? Make Jamal bitch ass go up. Stop acting like a hoe. Run your mouth when a man fucking say, okay, bitch, let's fight. Well, I'm not really 160. I'm a 168 fighter. I'm a 160 fighter. I'm not a 160. Oh, you need to go get tested. I ain't fighting nobody under 25. But you know how bitch sounding that is? Huh?
Well, my question for y'all is what's next for him? Like, is there a level of impression he can have against Selecki? You understand? That can make y'all really say, all right, we want to see Jermall Charlo against who?
And Smoke, if you still, I couldn't let you on because when I sent out the links, when I posted the link, I said that only 3 people, I was gonna only take 3 people. Knockout, he had to jump off. So you could, you could click the link and you can hop up here if you want to now, because Knockout jumped off. But go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead, OTB.
But yeah, that was my question for y'all though. Like, what's next for Jermall Charlo? What fight do y'all want to see Jermall Charlo?
What you talking about after this Selecki shit? First, First, we got to see how good he looks up against Selecki, because I'm gonna tell y'all right now. If he struggles against Selecki, that's gonna change a whole lot of shit. If he go and he struggle against Selecki, now we know that Jermall Charlo is not the most disciplined. Everybody already know he was just drunk at the goddamn Errol Spence fight. You know what I'm saying? We know he ain't the most disciplined. So if he come in there and he struggle against Selecki, I don't give a fuck what he do. I don't want to see shit from him. Really. If he can't, because if we talking about Jermall Charlo need to fight Canelo, and we've all said it, he deserved to fight Canelo. He needs to be in the biggest fights in boxing. But if he can't get past no Selecki, or if he does and he struggles with him, I ain't gonna be on here, rooting and telling y'all, well, Jermall Charlo deserved this and he deserved that. So let's let him get past Selecki first and see how he look. Because if it's David Benavidez, I'm pretty sure David Benavidez will get Selecki up out of there.
He not
gonna walk through him.
He not fighting, not moving up to 168, bro. Y'all can stop that right now. The only way he move up to 168 is to fight Canelo. He gonna stay right where he at. He content with the money he making. He's not moving up to 168. Now they got another motherfucker that's down there he can fuck with now.
Well, his brother about to be coming up to 160. Shit. If he win this fight this weekend, what y'all think he gonna do?
Is what it is.
My man,
Cannebeck, right? Cannebeck.
My man Juwan Ramos. My man and my man Pac-Man ATL in the building. What's happening with it, Pac? What's good with it?
Absolutely.
So check this. My man Jermall Ramos, like I said, he from Houston. You know what I'm saying? My young cat Jermall, he's from Houston. And you know, he be on the scene out there in Houston. And listen what he said. He says, I'll tell y'all right now, Jamal been in the clubs every week down here. He said recently, he said he been in the clubs recently. He said he fucked with rappers in the city. So he says, I don't know if he focused. You see what I'm saying? So
you in camp.
That's what I'm saying. In camp. He in clubs, in camp. And he ain't no Floyd Mayweather. Like I said, I usually don't talk about these fighters' personal shit and what they do, you know, on their own time. I don't never talk about that shit. But it's out. It ain't like it's a fucking secret, right? We know that he is not a Floyd Mayweather. So if you heard that Floyd Mayweather was in clubs, which Floyd Mayweather, I don't even think he would be in clubs in camp. He didn't do that shit in camp, right? But even if he did, we know Floyd Mayweather wasn't drinking and indulging in extracurricular activities. We know that Jermall Charlo is the opposite. So why, if this is true, like I said, I don't know. My man Jawan saying it because he's saying, you know, he live in Houston. He live right there. If this is true, why are you in clubs every weekend and you supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, getting ready for a fight? That's all I'm saying, man. Pac-Man ATL said, he said, now, my man Tay Jones. Tay Jones, a fighter himself. Tay Jones got a fight coming up soon, right? He said the same shit. He said he heard the same shit about Jamal. So before we jump the gun, right, on Jermall Charlo and start saying, oh man, once Jamal beats Selecki, he need to do this. No, we need to see if he get past Selecki and how good he looks. Because if he struggle, he don't need to be fighting nobody but somebody like Chris Eubank. Let him fight the Chris Eubank level if he go in there and struggle and barely win.
Man, that's crazy. That's fucking retarded.
That's ridiculous.
That's retarded, bro. They so happy and content with what the money they done made and what the way they living and all of this shit.
Hold
man,
on,
remember
coach.
I kept telling y'all he ain't getting no better.
Hold on, coach. Hold on, coach. You can't say they. Don't say that, coach. Because from right now, Jamel Charlo, he been doing. We can't put them together like they the same people.
Right. You right. You right.
Yeah, Jamel Charlo, he doing what he's supposed to do. You feel me? So and they don't really kick it like that. Even in Dallas, right? Yeah, they was both in Dallas. But like I said, man, while Jamal was at the weigh-in, Jamel was at the mall. So they wouldn't. They hang out. They got two different entourages. They hang out with different people. So I'm not gonna link them together.
Right. You're right.
But remember, I kept telling y'all he ain't getting no better, man. Like shit, that just explained why. Now we know why you won't use your jab after the fourth goddamn round, and you got a pretty jab. Like shit, he got all the tools. Feet, hand, like shit. He ain't got the greatest head movement, but he got a pretty ass jab. He just don't use it after the fourth round. And he starts sitting on his shots, throwing this little crazy shit.
And see, y'all, I'm gonna keep it 100. This is why you know what I'm saying, when cherry picking goes wrong, right? He thought that motherfucking Bivol was the easiest fight. He should have took his ass over there and fought motherfucking Jermall Charlo. Because he'll beat Jermall Charlo. Canelo will beat Jermall Charlo. I look at the styles of fights. Right? Jermall Charlo is the style that Canelo Alvarez can beat. I don't think Jermall Charlo is too difficult of a fight for Canelo Alvarez. Now, David Benavidez was on the back end. So when we talk about that, we know why he didn't take that Jermall Charlo smoke. It wasn't because of Jermall Charlo. It was because David Benavidez was on the back end. We know that.
Yep. Well, yeah, so that's all I can see. That motherfucker, Jermall Charlo, I don't know what he gonna do at 160, because you know he not gonna get fucking Triple G up in the fucking ring. That ain't gonna happen. Triple G is not getting in the ring with Jermall Charlo. I don't care. You can't melt and pull that motherfucker up in there with him. So
and I don't know, and my bad, coach, but I don't know how if his brother's staying at 154 pending he win this weekend.
I mean, I'm not saying that, but they fought in the same division before, so that's not even the issue. But the issue is he don't have no unless he go fight Janabek.
Shit, Mel come up there, he gonna want to be undisputed.
Father. What does David Benavidez losing his belt right on the scale have to do with today? We in 2022, right? Okay, we've been past that shit. What does that have to do with today?
Nothing.
And that's the same belt Canelo ran to go get once he lost it.
Never talked about undisputed.
Fuck out of here.
That happened. I mean, bro, that's called duck talk. That's all that is. That's
fuck out of here.
That's all these people do. How come he deserve it? Well, we could name a bunch of fighters who didn't deserve to be in the fucking ring with the King Canelo, fucking King Arthur ass motherfucker.
I respect David Benavidez for the simple fact is that he don't turn down no smoke. He's willing to fight everybody. If it's Demetrius Andrade, bring on the smoke. Whoever it is, he's willing to fight everybody. That's why I don't have nothing bad to say about David Benavidez. You got to understand that man was a champion at what, 20 years old?
Yes, at 20 years old.
At 20 years old. Of course he's gonna fuck off some shit.
And then I'm gonna tell y'all that
fuck off some shit when they get a little bit of money that early.
And guess what? The boy truthful about it. When we did the interview with him, he's totally transparent with it. You know, when you make that kind of money as a kid, he had a lot of people around him and all of this shit. He's 20 years old, so he fucked up. Okay, so let's hope. You don't talk about clenbuterol. Yeah, he went vegan. He stopped eating that fucking tainted meat. How about that?
Well, and Fred 88, stop talking about who has been a Benavidez's fault, right? We always talk about, oh man, but if you a fighter, that's now we can say that about some of these fighters, right? If you're in a certain position and you can fight pretty much anybody you want to fight, and you still ain't fought nobody, okay, then let's bring that out. But let's stop talking about who has been Benavidez's fault when we see that these fighters don't want to fight him. He's trying to fight the best. That's the whole thing. You can't make these motherfuckers get in the ring with you.
And not only that, Keith, shit, you just heard him say he was sparring with Triple G at motherfucking 16 years old.
Right.
So not only that, he a gym rat. And then who Bivol just had in camp with him? David, who he just was sparring with before he went to camp. David, fuck out of here. David, a workaholic. He getting these gyms and Shakur Stevenson like that, man. They'll come and get that work in with you.
Nah, don't block him, Zenith. You know what I'm saying? Nah, we ain't blocking him for saying that shit, but it's just like it's ignorant when you see the man trying to fight everybody, right? He's trying to fight everybody, and then you still talking about who has he fought. You can't make nobody fight you.
Hey, listen, that's not the only thing. We could do the same shit. I tell you what, in less than 10 seconds, I want that same person, besides Joe Smith, who Bivol fought. That's fucking elite fighter. Go ahead. I'll wait. Right quick. 10 seconds. Because don't look it up, motherfucker. Who he fought. And he kicked Canelo's fucking ass. Beat the shit out that motherfucker. Shakur hadn't fought no super elite fighters. Beat the shit out of Oscar Valdez. Stop using them fucking duck words. All these motherfuckers with these duck words. Who Muhammad Ali had fought before he fucking beat up fucking Sonny Liston?
Yeah.
Huh? Who he had fought? Man, motherfucker missed me with that bullshit. Always with the bullshit. Skills pay the fucking bills. Fuck who they fought. Fight them now. They fucking young champions. He gonna have the interim belt. Stop ducking the fucking man. You fucking coward. But you know what the style gonna do. Gonna push your ass to the limit and you're gonna go fucking night or you're gonna get stopped. That's what the fuck gonna happen.
And coach,
his work rate is shit water. It's doodle on a rope. That's why.
And they need to understand it's about, are you trying to fight the best, right? That's one. Are you trying to fight the best, right? And then it's about, once you do get that chance, what do you do with that chance? Stop saying who has he fought because he's trying to fight the best. He just ain't got the chance yet.
But guess what? He regardless of how he lost his belts, he didn't lose them bitches in the ring. Canelo wasn't champion at 20 years old. And motherfucker was a world champion at 20 years old. 2-time world champion at 20 and at 23. So miss me with the bullshit. Since Rocky Fielding was a world champion, who the fuck he fought? But he got a chance to fight that bitch. Huh?
We gotta stop with this notion that it's something you gotta do in order to get these type of fights, man. That's some bullshit.
That's duck talk, man. That's the excuse for their favorite fighter not to fight the best. I've been saying that shit for months.
If you're in the top 20, you could fight a champion. Goddamn it.
Yeah, fucking right.
You get a shot.
2-time world champion, but he don't deserve a shot. And then you took his fucking belt, and then after you win this belt in an easy ass fight, you go fight fucking Avni Yildirim. Who the fuck Avni Yildirim had fought? Motherfucker, y'all stop that bullshit. And Avni Yildirim had lost his last fight and hadn't fought in 2 years. So miss me with the bullshit. Stop being cowards and trying to protect that fucking redhead motherfucker. I told y'all he wasn't shit, and y'all saw it. There it is.
I can't say he ain't shit.
I ain't gonna say he ain't gonna say he shit. He's still a hell of a fighter. He's still a hell of a fighter. It's just that he ran into a style that wasn't good for him.
It ain't styles. That fucking Mongolian warrior ain't scared. And that motherfucker got skills.
It's his style, his skills, right? The style. Certain styles make certain fights. That wasn't a good style for Canelo. That's just what it is.
And that's why Canelo, bitch ass, is scared to get up in there with David Benavidez, because he know one thing. He ain't going to be scared. He going to keep your ass on the end of that fucking hard-ass jab. And if you get on them ropes and tell him to come like you did Bivol, he not going to stop punching on your fucking ass, and your feet is not good enough to get out of there. Your fucking head ain't going to be able to move that fucking fast with them hands coming that fucking fast. Just like I said, and he going to hit you to the body. That's the fucking problem I've been telling y'all for months and months and months. So miss me, niggas, whoever fucking saying that bullshit that motherfucker is great. No, he's a good fighter. He's great because he cherry picked his way to fight motherfuckers that he knew he could beat, and this is where he picked wrong this fucking time.
Well, Coach, now, right? If he wants to be great, I think this was great for boxing. What happened because now, right? He has a lot of pride. Now, right? I think that he's gonna want to show. I think he gonna want to show us, right? And shut up everybody, right? Because he got pride. His pride probably gonna get the best of him now. So these other fighters that's calling him out now, we probably might get to see these fights because of his pride. He took another L now. Now his pride, right? Because he is a competitor. You don't get to the level that Canelo is without having a lot of pride and being very competitive, right? Even though he's moving around, but now we're gonna be able to see it. We're gonna be able to see him get in the ring with these guys, I think. Because now you can't no longer duck these fighters and call yourself the best. You don't have that luxury no more. Because we seen shit exposing you now. You don't have that luxury.
That's the problem right there. You just said it.
And now you gotta fight these fights like shit. And I think that he gonna want to. I think he gonna have to want to because like he say, he a prideful person, man, and he trying to be the best Hispanic boxing, the best Mexican boxer ever. Shit, he ain't gonna, man, he don't want no asterisks or he don't want that legacy to be tainted. Now it was all right when he lost to Floyd. That was cool. I got one loss to Floyd. That's all right. Now you done took one to Bivol. Now he know he needs some wins that's gonna credify, you understand, his spot amongst where he want to see himself at.
This is where y'all go. This is where I don't think y'all right. I'm gonna tell you why I don't think y'all right. And the reason I don't think y'all right is because now he gonna be, man, I done lost to the bigger fighter. We could use that as he was too big for me, even though most people know that's not the truth. But if I get up in there and lose my belts at 168 against Benavidez or one of these tough champions, then my legacy is soiled. It's going to either go one of two ways. I do because you know why? Because he never cared about what the fucking fans wanted. Never. He never
It bothers him because now he started to respond to shit that the fans say. So that shit bothers him. He do care about that shit. It's starting to bother him. And now that he didn't took the L, he can't, you know what I'm saying? He can't walk around and say, oh, well, that was just Mayweather. Can't nobody else beat me. Because he still could say that before. Oh, well, yeah, Mayweather beat everybody. You know what I'm saying? So that really don't count because it was Mayweather. You can't say that, no. Or I was young and I fought Mayweather at the age of 23. Now you can't say that in certain things in you that fans are going to continue to point out the flaws that you showed that fans are going to continue to point out. They're going to be on his helmet so hard, and Benavidez is about to be his mandatory. Once he beat the shit out of David Lemieux, they're going to be on his motherfucking helmet. He's going to have to take that fight, and his pride is going to get the best of him. Other than that, if he don't, he ain't going to never be able to go down as one of the best or the best Mexican fighter. That's what he wants to be able to do. He wants to be able to go down and call himself one of the best or the best Mexican fighter that ever lived. He ain't gonna never be able to get close to that if he ducked them opponents.
Okay, Key. This is my point. All on the internet. Everybody see it. All the fighters from Gervonta Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Mike Tyson, fucking Tim Bradley. You can name a bunch of fighters, and all of them bring up the same name, and you don't want to give us that fucking fight. You've been ducking that fucking man for so long. You don't give a fuck about what the fans want. Instead, you got a cherry gone wrong. It just happened, right? So now that it didn't happen, they not stupid, bro. Eder Reynoso is not stupid. He know that style is too fucking hard for Canelo because of the pace. You don't think they know that motherfucker win is not as fucking good as David Benavidez? They know that shit. That's why they've been avoiding this fucking dude. They know that. They're not gonna put him. They gonna get some glamorous looking shit. These motherfuckers is like a magician. They show you thing in one hand.
You can't. Well, coach, you can't continue to do that now because now he's stuck. You ain't going back down to 160. Facts. You ain't going back up to 175, right? You be campaigning at 168. That man is going to be a mandatory for your WBC strap, and you can no longer go around these opponents because you don't have no more get out of jail free cards. You don't have no more duck cards left. Your back is against the wall. Your back is against the wall. You either gonna fucking, if you do it again, if you do that shit again and avoid him, you're gonna be a fucking laughing stock of boxing.
And you're gonna be looking at the third time you do boo-boo the same. Boo-boo about to be the same way.
Right. You're gonna have to fight one of these dudes. Boy, like I said, he's going to have to fight one of these dudes. He can't continue to go around them.
And Boo-boo boxed the shit out of him. Oh my God. Boo-boo got the right to. You're a horrible fighter.
I mean, bro, Boo-boo ain't strong enough to take Canelo. I don't think that Boo-boo can beat him. Boo-boo ain't strong enough to take his shit. He can't do nothing to Canelo to detour Canelo from coming forward. And like I think that Canelo breaks Boo-boo down. Boo-boo had a problem against Liam. Man, Boo-boo had a problem against Liam Williams. He had a tough fight. He can't beat Canelo. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. He can't beat Canelo.
Okay.
Boo-boo
like I said, just because Bivol did it at 175, stop crowning these other fighters that ain't doing shit.
Nobody. I got Boo-boo, and I've been had Boo-boo against Canelo since they was at 150.
I don't. Boo-boo is a front runner. Boo-boo already is a front runner. Boo-boo fight hard for the first. Boo-boo, he fights successfully hard for the first 4 rounds. His power ain't there, right? Boo-boo power is not even there the second half of the fight. He ain't got no power like that the second half of the fight.
Neither does Canelo.
Because he gas out.
Yeah, he do.
He gas out.
Which Canelo don't. He didn't in this fight, but he do. He still hit hard.
I tell y'all what.
And Boo-boo could be great, coach, but Boo-boo blew it.
And he going up in weight. I
can't blame no damn body, and now he hurt. In this fight, he's about to fight. Shit.
Okay.
Is Boo Boo mentally tough enough to win that fight? Is my
I
question.
don't think Boo Boo can win that fight. I mean, he can win that fight, but I don't favor him to win that fight.
Skills pay the bills.
I don't. He don't.
Still don't understand.
Like I said, when you fight Canelo, just like Caleb Plant, you have to have some shit to keep him off of you.
Boo Boo hit way harder than Caleb Plant.
No, he don't.
Yes, he does.
No, he don't.
Yes, he does.
Who Boo Boo knocked out past the motherfucking sixth round?
Yeah,
who had Boo Boo knocked out past the fifth round? I'm asking you a question. It ain't no key on nothing. Who has Boo Boo knocked out past the fifth round?
A lot of them don't get past the fifth round. He knocked them.
What you mean they don't?
Because he fighting shit. Boo Boo don't fight no damn
Boo
body.
Boo's some fucking Rudy Poo. Boo Boo don't do shit past the fifth and sixth round.
And tell me this, coach: if Boo Boo fight Laura and Boo Boo fight Charlo, we can't even have this conversation right now. He would have been had to fight Canelo.
Y'all are going.
He had a chance to be great, man. I ain't hearing that shit from Boo Boo.
Y'all are going to learn again. If they make that fight, bet. Y'all gonna learn again.
I don't have no problem with betting you on that. I'll bet you on that. I'll bet you on that every day.
You jumped off of betting me with Benavidez, and that's good. I'm glad you jumped off because Bivol fucked the money up because I was gonna whoop
Yo,
your
Jack, I ain't never told you that ever. Boo Boo hit like Wilder. I mean, you ain't never in my life. You ain't never heard him come out of my mouth that Boo Boo hit like Wilder.
No, never said that.
Like Wilder, this motherfucking Wilder's drink.
I ain't never said.
No. Joe Jack said that. I said that Boo Boo hit like Wilder in the first 4 rounds. Man, I ain't never said no shit like that. Boo Boo only has power from the first 4 rounds. The first 4 rounds, he got cool power. After that, he ain't got no power like that.
You think Bivol made this motherfucker have to move all over?
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Right? Jack Clay, right? Split decision win for Boo Boo Andrade, 2017. Alantez Fox, unanimous decision. Walter Kondakawa, a unanimous decision. Arthur Kovalov, I never even heard of him. Boo Boo knocked him out, but that was within 5 rounds. Selecki, unanimous decision. Luke Keegler. Who the fuck is a Luke Keegler? Boo Boo knocked him out. What was it, like the 3rd round? Second or third round, he knocked him out early, right? Liam Williams, unanimous decision. Jason Quigley knocked him out hella early. He don't knock nobody out fucking past the 5th round. His power don't carry.
Let me ask you this question. We just saw, because before this last fight, I heard the same thing. Man, Bivol don't knock nobody out, in his last 7 fights. He ain't knocked nobody out. I don't care if they knocking him out. They fucking box and beat the shit out of him.
My point is Boo Boo and motherfucking Bivol. Those are 2 different fighters. Bivol is way stronger than Boo Boo, and on top of that, Boo Boo don't have nothing to keep Canelo off of his motherfucking ass. He didn't have nothing to keep Liam Williams from pressing them the whole fight.
Let's just say John Pascal and Joe Smith is better than everybody I just heard.
Liam Williams is way taller. Now, I told you when you told me before the fight with Bivol, man, you had salmon fish, or whatever y'all want to call them, man. And I explained to y'all, that's because them dudes was taller than him. He couldn't just get up bigger men. So now, this is what y'all gonna understand about boxing once again. Skills paid the Floyd Mayweather was way smaller than Canelo and tore his ass up. Boo Boo got legs. Boo Boo got skills. Canelo gonna get tired.
What was his legs in the second half of the fight with Liam Williams?
When he was getting jabbed.
It's Liam Williams talking.
I don't give a damn how tall that man was.
Bet the fight.
Where was his legs in the second half of the fight versus Liam Williams? What?
It's so familiar. Motherfuckers.
Where was his legs at when he went in the second half of the fight against Selecki?
Bet the fight.
Right? Where was his legs at? When he fucking fought tooth and nails with Jack Clay, where was his legs at in the second half of that fight?
That's because he stayed in the pocket because he wanted. Just
Man,
because he
come on,
wanted.
stop. Man, come on, coach.
Okay. Oh, come on, coach. I heard you say it last week.
Boo
Come on,
Boo,
coach.
like I said, Boo
got-
Boo is he's a great fighter against Rudy Poots.
Okay.
Now, he's a great fighter against now. Like I said, I like Boo Boo as a fighter, but you can't sit here and tell me, you cannot sit here and convince me that he's just gonna beat the shit out of Canelo like that. He don't.
And you can't compare his resume to Bivol.
Here we go. We talked about that, didn't we? We just talked about that.
Just because I whooped you don't mean he can. Y'all need to cut it out with that shit. That's not what I said.
That's not what I said. We just talked about that. That's just that duck talk.
Just because Bivol did it, they two totally different fighters.
Right. It's even worse because one left-handed. It's even worse.
Is way stronger than Boo Boo Andrade.
I don't care. They're the same height. They're the same height.
I don't give a damn what height they are.
And he moved, and them hands gonna be faster.
I don't care if the motherfucker's 7'8".
Frustrated and can't fucking hit him. And just like he did with fucking Bivol, he ain't gonna be able to hit him. And he's gonna get tired.
Much stronger fighter than Boo Boo Andrade.
Nigga, fuck all that.
Same style. They got the same style,
coach. Boo Boo Andrade.
Now they got the same style. They both gonna fight from distance. Boo Boo don't want to get in that pocket. He will, but he don't want to get in that pocket. He don't want to fight from distance and maintain that line. If he don't ever want to get in the pocket.
That right jab gonna be fucking doing what it needs to do. And
his jab
much faster than Bivol. Much faster than Bivol.
Hell no.
Okay, well, coach.
Man,
if he's that motherfucking great, if he's that great, he's about to fight Zach Parker. Let's see if he dominate him. Since you talking about he gonna go and just dominate Canelo, and he gonna let's see if he dominates Zach Parker.
The shit out of Canelo.
Let's see if he dominates Zach Parker.
Canelo ain't gonna even fight Boo Boo anyway, so
you know what I'm saying? He ain't fucking finna box the shit out. Now, if he do beat Canelo, if he do beat Canelo, it'll be a very, very close fight. But I don't see him beating Canelo. I don't see him beating Canelo.
Okay,
I think he can if he dig deep enough. I just wonder if he got enough heart to, because he done made some decisions that's done say it. I don't know about your heart. I don't know if your heart really there, bro.
Let me tell y'all something.
You could have had big fights, man.
Let me tell y'all something.
You could have fought. You could have fought these fighters, man.
Let me tell
y'all. You found reasons not to.
You think that Boo Boo just he been calling Canelo out from 154 to 160?
That's cool. He been calling all them.
Why? You think it's just for payday? It's not just for payday.
Boo Boo. So what are you talking about? That ain't worried about Boo Boo. He don't fucking bring nothing to the table. No.
Oh, here we go with this duck talk. That's duck talk.
No, I'm telling you this.
I don't do duck talk.
No. I'm telling you this because none of these other fighters have fought him neither. None of them.
And he turned down Laura, but Canelo fought.
I don't give a fuck.
Or right after Canelo fought. He should have fought him right after Canelo. He done turned down Laura, Charlo.
That dude,
but you want to keep calling out Canelo, man. Ain't nobody hearing that shit, man. Get your ass in there with them.
Well, guess what?
I just ain't hearing that shit from Boo Boo.
For the WBO after he fucking beat Zach Parker.
And he's still gonna be checked, and then Canelo gonna duck his ass for the third time. I still ain't fighting your ass.
Like I said, coach, let's see.
You gonna get that fucking belt up. You gonna give up that belt. You gonna
Canelo gonna tell his ass for the third time, I ain't fighting your ass.
Coach, you making a whole bunch of excuses for Andrade. Oh man, he was tall. He was this height. Fuck all of that. Let's see if he dominates Zach Parker. And I don't want to hear, well, he was this height. Nah, because when it comes to Canelo, but when it comes to other fighters, height didn't matter. So why are you making excuses? Why are you talking about? Oh man, he was tall. Man, Boo Boo had problems because he was tall.
First of all, you learn why I said that. That's why you lost this fight.
I didn't lose nothing. I didn't get in the ring and fight.
You understand what I'm saying, nigga? Don't play fucking dumb.
I didn't lose shit.
My thing is, you look at Boo Boo film. When you look at him, man, he had 2 rounds where he looked great. Then he had 3 minutes where he looked horrible. Like, yeah, man, and shit, and that's against subpar competition. So you talking about he got to be perfect for 12 rounds against Canelo or Bivol, and that's something that we ain't seen him do. And we know that he don't possess no power to really hurt neither one of these fighters because he not about to be the bigger person when they walk in the ring. You can say he the same height as them, but he won't be the bigger fighter when they walk in the ring. Go ahead, Keith.
Zenith 360. This is what you want to do? This is really where you want to go with this, Zenith. I mean, we can. I mean, if this is where you want to go, you said Canelo fought Josecito Lopez and Amir Khan, and they talking about Andrade's resume. Man, look at Canelo's resume and look at Canelo's resume and look at motherfucking Andrade's resume. You can't even compare that shit.
Damn,
that shit was the weakest point I ever heard.
You could take Canelo resume and go up against Bivol resume and look at it. I don't want to hear that shit.
I'm not talking to you right now, Coach. I'm talking about what Zenith said. You cannot compare. You cannot compare Demetrius Andrade resume to Canelo's resume. No type of way.
It don't matter.
It does matter.
Oh, now it matters. Earlier it didn't matter, but now it does matter.
No. When you start talking about, oh man, y'all talking about resumes. Yeah, we could talk about Canelo resume. Demetrius Andrade been a fucking professional for 14 years and ain't fought no motherfucking body. That shit matters.
And you defending this shit, Coach. How can you even defend this shit, Coach?
Hold on. Wait a minute. I'm not defending anything. Only thing I said was I got Boo Boo Andrade beating Canelo Alvarez if they fight.
On what grounds? And we just said he been a pro for 14 years and ain't fought no fucking body. So all of the great flashes that you see out of him subsequently can be negated because they against who?
Okay.
Fuck it. Horrible level opponent.
Okay, well, let's use that logic now.
He's fighting fucking
wait.
You want to crown him
for 14 years, Coach.
Once again, we're going to look at Dimitri Bivol's resume. Go ahead. One good fight on that bitch was Joe Smith.
Hold on. He fought Joe Smith.
That's it.
He fought John Pascal.
How old was Pascal and had been fucking stopped already? Pascal was done.
It's better than what.
We don't say that about Sean Porter.
Demetrius Andrade got on his resume. It's better than anybody that Demetrius Andrade got on his resume. Dust yourself off and try again, Coach.
Okay, you got two fighters compared to Canelo. Canelo fucking Canelo fought Floyd Mayweather, he had more fights than Floyd.
We're talking about Demetrius Andrade resume right now. We're talking about Demetrius Andrade. Don't switch it up.
It don't matter who he fought. He a fucking champion. I don't give a fuck.
I'm trying to crown him and make, like I said, Demetrius.
So why ain't fight Erzlande Lara?
I don't know. We already know he done been through. Eddie Hearn done fucked him over. The people he was with before fucked him over. It ain't like he ain't been calling for the smoking motherfuckers.
But that's what you hear from Andrade. It's everybody's fault, but he is.
I'm not.
You've been a pro for 14 years, man. We ain't got one credible opponent to even get no film on to say that you a top fighter in your division. Ain't nobody hearing that shit.
How is he not the top fighter in this division? Walking around with a strap.
And see, this is what you niggas get twisted. I'm not taking up for Canelo. I'm not saying that Canelo shouldn't fight Demetrius Andrade. All I'm saying, Coach, is you trying to act like Demetrius Andrade is the fucking best thing smoking. The nigga been a professional for damn near 15 years.
Never said that. Nobody. Never ever said that.
This
motherfucker said was he's going to beat Canelo. If him and Canelo fight, I got boo-boo. I didn't say he was the best thing since sliced bread, because Canelo's not the best thing since sliced bread.
The best person on his resume is a motherfucking Willie Nelson.
I could care less.
The best person on his resume, Willie Nelson.
I could care fucking less about his
but now all of a sudden it don't matter. You could care less. All of a sudden,
I've been saying that, Keon.
All of a sudden, a motherfucker that's been professional for damn near 15 years almost, it don't matter that he ain't never fought no
long.
Keon,
come on, bro.
It's too long.
I don't care about nobody else. Either person fought. Listen, I don't care who Canelo fought.
I ain't fought nobody.
I don't care who Canelo fought. I don't care who Demetrius Andrade fought.
Now you don't
I
care.
said that Demetrius Andrade will beat Canelo, and that's what I'm sticking
From
by,
what?
and we gonna bet.
Who he
Fuck
beat?
all that other shit. I don't
On
care
what
who they
ground?
fought before.
Who did he beat to tell you that?
Facts. On
Skills.
what grounds?
Same thing you thought about Bivol. He's an up and down fighter.
What
Your
skills?
skills is only as good as who you display them against.
Really?
Really?
Really? That's not true. Shakur Steven had 17 fucking fights and beat the shit out of Oscar Valdez.
Look,
and he
I'ma
hadn't
make this
fought
shit-
no fucking body.
Look.
Skills, bro.
I'ma
Skills.
make
I
this-
don't care about who they fought before.
Man, Shakur Stevenson wasn't a motherfucking professional for 15 years.
15
neither.
years.
Listen,
Stop.
y'all still don't understand me? I
You
don't
don't
understand how y'all don't get what I'm saying. From my eyes, what my eyes see, because I know boxing,
Why? Against his fucking B plus level opponents?
because I
Thank you,
know
coach. You can't say
boxing
that. You can't say that,
skills
coach.
pay the fucking. I done watched Demetrius Andrade when he was an amateur, boy. I done watched him.
Okay, cool.
I done
That was
watched
15
him.
that
I done watched
was
him.
17 years ago.
When he lost to Sean Porter.
Okay,
he lost
Same
to
thing.
Sean Porter.
And how many fights
When he
Bivol
lost to
had?
Sean Porter.
How many fights
When he
Bivol
lost to
had?
Sean
Has
Porter. as an
Bivol been a
amateur.
Somebody said that.
professional for
Hey,
17
we got a
years?
heavyweight champion that lost to Sean Porter. So you act like that's something in amateurs.
Has Bivol been
The heavyweight champion,
Man,
3
he
belt
ain't never
holder,
been nothing
lost to
special.
Sean Porter. The
I'm
He never been
heavyweight
nothing
champion.
special.
asking you, has
Man, y'all
Bivol been a professional for 14 years? And because y'all can, who did Bivol fight? Well, I
I
just told you
don't
he fought,
care.
and he ain't
Shit,
been a
the
professional
best fighters
for 14
Andrade
years.
fought was in the amateurs.
Guess what? I don't care about
14
who
fucking
they
years
fought.
ago.
I'm saying this right now on everything boxing. I can care less who they fought. I can care less what their resume look like. I can care less. My eye test
Now
said
all of a sudden,
Boo Boo Andrade will beat Canelo's ass, and the reason I said is because of skills. Now you could take all that resume shit and get it, and the thing about it is, I'm willing to put cash on it. I could give a fuck less about all that. Who they fought, motherfucker could be the fuck Joe the Dumpster, man. I don't give a fuck. I said skills pay the fucking bills.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this, coach.
If you'd
I'm
have
gonna
said,
Baby Jordan had the fucking best skills in the goddamn world in college. When he moved to the NBA, what the fuck he did?
Guess what? We're not talking about Baby Jordan. We're not talking about none of that. I said, just like I said last week, that Bivol was going to give him the
I
business.
got the best skills in the world
because of skills. Canelo's skills are not that good. He's a hard puncher who moves his head well.
In the world. You put me in there with Errol Spence, what my skills gonna look like? That's all I'm asking you.
Because you ain't got skills.
You know what I'm saying?
And we don't know what he's gonna do against somebody else with skills, coach.
So we already saw the flaws of Canelo Alvarez that I've been saying for the last 2 fucking years to you niggas. That this nigga is not that good, and y'all picked Bivol, and I told y'all Bivol was gonna box the fuck out of him. And who won?
We want to see. Okay, that's cool. I want to see Demetrius Andrade with all these fucking skills that you said that he got. Right? He been fighting fucking C level opponents for the last 14 years. I want to see him in there displaying his skills against the best.
Okay,
like Canelo did. I want to see that.
Was Andrade a champion at 154? Was he a champion at 154?
Yeah, he
yes
was.
Or no?
But if that was the grounds that you said you felt like he could beat Canelo under, I wouldn't have asked you what you thought. Like
OTB, answer this question.
Because he done been his mandatory twice.
154. So yes or no?
Yeah, he was a champion.
Was he a champion at 160? Yes or no?
Yeah, he was a champion.
Did Canelo avoid him both times? Yes or no?
Why you ain't start off with that?
I'm asking the question.
You right?
Yes or no?
Yeah, he did, but that don't mean.
Why did he fucking avoid this man? That's the question that y'all not asking. Just thinking y'all floating back into that Canelo fuzz and foam.
Canelo obviously feel like he got a chance to lose to Andrade.
Exactly. Because Eddie Reynoso knows that is a very, very difficult fight for Canelo, and I don't think he can win it. That's why I'm going to avoid him. We never started talking no shit about undisputed until David Benavidez dropped his belt. He could have been undisputed at 160, but he did not want to because why? Because those are skills. I don't care who he fought before. It's all about the skills. They know that they can't fuck with those skills. And longness and being
struggling with C-class fighters at times or B-class fighters. That's all I'm asking you, Coach.
Why they brought
them skills all the way there?
He should beat him. He should have became undisputed.
Why he don't go fight somebody else? That ain't the only fucking fighter up there who got some skills too. Andrade could have fought plenty of other fighters that display.
Well, we already know the business decisions of the people that was backing him. We already know that. And don't act like y'all don't know that.
Demetrius Andrade's skills are so fucking elite. He wouldn't have never.
He wouldn't have never what? Hold on, this shit done broke up.
He said he was probably about to say he wouldn't have backed out of that goddamn
Liam Williams and other unknown opponents.
We've seen this. We've seen
he had problems in the Selecki fight too. I seen Selecki cracking his ass.
I'm gonna tell you like this.
All of that is fine and well. I don't care about all these other fighters. I'm talking about Demetrius Andrade and Canelo fucking Alvarez. I don't care who he avoided. I don't care if he didn't fight other motherfuckers. I'm talking about just these.
Stop going around what I said, Coach. I said I've never seen Canelo struggle. When he get in there with Rudy Poop opponents, he don't struggle.
Really? He was struggling against fucking Glass Joe until he caught Glass Joe.
What?
Go ahead.
What you say?
He was struggling against Glass Joe until he caught Glass Joe
in the fourth round.
I don't care. He was struggling until he caught Glass Joe.
Knocked him out in the fourth round.
Yes, he was struggling.
The fight went 4 rounds.
He was struggling.
The fight went 4 rounds.
Coach, I can't struggle and still put your ass down.
He struggled with another left-handed fighter with great legs.
Who?
Landy Lara.
It's Lara. You mean Pooh? That's you done, Coach. You done. You done.
I'm not done about anything.
Take a breather, Coach.
Fuck all that. I'm done. Bet. Fuck all that. Bet.
Hey, take a breather, Coach. Lara ain't nobody Rudy Pooh. Never had.
I said that. That's the fight.
No,
I don't give a fuck about none of that other shit. Who they fought, who he struggled with before. I could care less. We know one thing. Canelo ducked the fucking man at 154 and he ducked him at 160. And there's a reason why he ducked him at 154 and there's a reason why he ducked him at 160.
I lost my prediction against you, right? And you just lost this motherfucking debate. You done, Coach.
Oh, how I lost the debate?
You done.
I just said since the beginning of this debate, I could care less. Listen to what I'm saying. Styles make fights. Styles make fights.
Name me a Rudy Poot that Canelo against.
Well, I didn't hear the Rudy Poot part, so okay, fine.
No. You heard what I said.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Yeah, Lara tough.
I got a question once again.
Bow out. You
don't. No, you want me to stop because why did Canelo? Y'all hero, the king of fucking kings, the god Canelo. Why
I'm not a Canelo fan.
I don't even mess with Canelo like that.
Why did he duck Andrade at 154?
Coach, we know he ducked him at 154.
But why? Why? Because he had only fought Rudy Pooch, right? He had only fought Rudy Pooch.
Coach. I'm not even capping or taking up for Canelo, but my whole thing is stop trying to make like Boo Boo Andrade is just the best thing.
See, you keep on mistaking. Hold on, he keep on mistaking with that. I said, listen to what I said. Did I say anything about Boo Boo Andrade being the greatest thing ever? Because I got Benavidez whipping his ass too. Okay, so when did I say that? I didn't say anything about him being the greatest thing since fucking sliced bread. I said that he will beat fucking Canelo Alvarez. That's all I said. Nothing else. I don't care who else they fought. Between those two men, I got Boo Boo whipping his ass because skills pay the fucking bills. I don't care who they fought before. There's a reason why Canelo ducked that fucking man in 2 divisions. There's a reason why.
Hey,
And y'all
coach.
don't see it because skills pay the fucking bills. That's
Well,
why.
his skills, he haven't had the skill set to show me that he could beat Canelo. I ain't seen it.
Okay.
I see him look good.
You already had fucking Canelo goggles on. You already had Canelo fall goggles on when you said that he was gonna stop Dimitri Bivol, and I told you he wasn't. You already had them goggles on thinking he was that good when I've been saying the same shit.
Well, hold on.
Everything that y'all been saying, everything that y'all was saying, Keon, everything that y'all was saying about Canelo's this and Canelo's that, and I'm steadily telling y'all, his feet are horrible. He only has upper body movement.
This ain't about Canelo, this and that. This is about that Boo Andrade been a professional for 14 years and the best motherfucker on his resume. Hold on. And the best motherfucker on his resume is Von Asmatarojan, right? That motherfucking Gennady Golovkin walked through like wet tissue paper and knocked his ass out in a couple rounds.
Sir, that's not what his whole resume. That's not what this conversation was about.
That's what this conversation is about.
Absolutely was not.
The conversation is you are trying to tell me that Demetrius Andrade goes in there and dominates Canelo Alvarez, right?
We don't have no grounds to believe that.
And this motherfucker ain't never fought nobody in 15 years.
He will outbox the shit out of him, just like y'all saw them fucking bullshit ass claws that he got.
Coach ain't speaking no facts. That's your opinion. Coach is telling his opinion. Ain't shit facts about nothing that nobody's saying. The only facts is that we know that he ain't fought no motherfucking body.
No, that's not the only facts. Hold on. The only facts is this.
For real. Other than that,
no, Keon. No. They had other facts that was in there. He ducked that man at 154, and he could have became undisputed at 154.
We didn't say that
at 160, and he ducked that
point that was brought up. That wasn't a point that was brought up until right now. So ain't shit you said been a fact, Coach. Nothing.
I said he got better skills than Canelo, and he will beat him. Put your money where your mouth is, and you're gonna have a long face.
That's all I got to say. So Andrade ain't gonna fight no damn body for us to have to decide. Like I say, he hurt and he about to go into the Joseph Parker fight to become the mandatory.
So what if he lose to Joseph Parker? Are you gonna come back on here and say the same shit?
I mean,
if he fighting Joseph Parker, then I would say Joseph Parker.
I mean, goddamn, what's his name? Zach Parker. My bad.
Zach Parker. My bad.
We're not gonna say if because the fight gotta happen. If a dog had a
he is fighting Zach Parker.
Bricks. What the fuck that's got to do with anything? Until the fight happens, then you can ask me now what you got to say about Boo Boo. Then you can rub Crow all in my face and do all of that shit.
Andrade, like I said, man, Andrade is a
he can fight, man, but I don't know. I can't say he can
and y'all keep on bringing fighters that's young. Well, Shakur Stevenson, he had no in Bivol, he had no. These motherfuckers ain't been professionals for 14, 15 years.
Yep, and beat a motherfucker with 55 fucking fights. And he beat a motherfucker with 55 fucking fights.
Stop comparing fighters that's been professional for 5 years to motherfuckers like Demetrius Andrade.
Beat a mother who had 55 fucking fights. He beat his ass.
Coach, that don't mean shit. He was supposed to whoop his ass.
Or now
he was the better boxer. He was bigger than him.
Exactly.
God damn it. You the better, bigger fighter.
And Demetrius and Boo Boo not gonna be the bigger fighter in that fight? Yes or no? Come on. Yes or no?
He gonna be bigger.
I can't say that.
Stronger.
Yeah, I can't say that because Canelo might walk in at 200. They just said that motherfucker was 190, 200 walking in the ring.
That make him even slower, and he gonna tire out even more. And guess what? That long ass right-handed jab gonna be eating his ass up, and them legs gonna be moving because he's a flat-footed fighter. Like I've been telling y'all.
And we done seen Andrade get hit by Selecki. So if Canelo land the same shot that Selecki landed. And we don't know that Andrade can take the motherfucker because you ain't been punched by nobody who really can punch.
How tall is Selecki?
Who cares how tall Selecki is? What's that got to do with anything?
That's the difference between people who know boxing.
No, you don't know what the hell you talking about, right? You keep
okay. Well, Willie Monroe caught him with the same shot. Willie Monroe caught him with the same shot.
Bro, so what? You boxing. So what? Did he go down and stop?
Hell nah, that motherfucker was wobbled. He was hurt and he held on too. And he held on too.
Did he win?
Yeah, he
won. Got wobbled by Shakur. Did he win the fight?
Man, can he take that from a much bigger puncher than a Willie Monroe? You think that Willie Monroe hit as hard as Canelo do?
I don't know.
Come on, coach, man.
Come on, coach. Now you really about to lose this, man. And you know, man. Come on, man.
You lose. You lose when you fucking put your money up and your man get his ass whipped. That's when you lose. Talking don't mean shit. I'm about fucking putting that money up, and then we'll see. And then y'all
do that too.
And I'm gonna come back on here again, and I'm gonna rub my fucking crow all in y'all faces, and I'm gonna say y'all still don't fucking know shit about boxing, like I did Keon the other day. I told you don't know shit about boxing, and it's gonna be the same thing. And y'all like, man, Canelo's feet was slow, his hands were he only had upper body movement. Man, Canelo looked tired and gassed and all this shit.
What's your prediction record, coach?
That's what's
your prediction record, coach?
I predict those fights right.
Huh?
I said sometimes
Coach got 2 fights right. Coach gets 2. Now everybody don't know shit about boxing.
Nobody knows shit.
Wait,
nobody knows shit.
Coach gets 2 fights,
and that was because I lost 1 fight. That was the Caleb Plant.
But you don't know shit about boxing. How about that? You don't know the motherfucking thing about boxing.
Okay, well, you're gonna see skills pay the fucking bills. That's all I can tell you. Y'all gonna see.
Yeah, bro. Coach argument that he lost this debate is backed by history that motherfucking Demetrius Andrade got 14, 15 years in the game and ain't fought nobody.
I don't give a fuck.
That's Coach's motherfucking argument.
If he fought,
that's the history.
That's what hurt the most.
He fought Earl, the fucking junk man, down the street yesterday. I don't care.
It matters though.
It matters though, Coach.
Because
all right, it matters. It matters. When you have y'all already saw an extensive fucking amateur background. Olympian type motherfucker. And I told y'all this before that last fight. Olympian type style. And then I heard people tell me online. Man, hold on. I heard people tell me
got his ass whooped against all of the big fighters he fought in the amateur shit. He got his ass whooped against Sean Porter and Danny Jake.
People told me this. Man, he ain't gonna be able to handle under the lights with all of those people. When you travel around the world and fight in other people's country, you got the whole country over there.
Well, that's great. 17 years ago, Coach. See, okay. I'm glad you still giving him his flowers for what he did in the amateurs. Where's his Olympic gold medal then, Coach?
I know one thing. The man is a fucking two-time world champion, and Canelo ducked him twice. I know that.
Where's his bronze medal?
That can't be the story of his career, though.
I'm not saying. Hold on. We gonna get on a different subject now. Do I think that he should fight other fighters? Absolutely. Absolutely, I do.
But when he do, then you will have more grounds to win this motherfucking debate, Coach.
But against
you can't win it fighting the motherfuckers he done fought, regardless of you being ducked or not.
We win the debate when you get in the ring, because right now this is opinion. Only facts that I gave y'all was the fact of this. There's a reason why Eder Reynoso and fucking Canelo Alvarez ducked him at 154 and they ducked him at 160.
Now give me. Let me
care less about what his resume is.
Let me say this, Coach. Now at 154, right? And I've said this when they was both at 154, I would have picked Dudu to beat him. I thought Andrade would have beat him at 154. Yeah, I definitely would have. Back then, I definitely would have picked Demetrius Andrade to beat Canelo Alvarez. Mm-hmm. But now Demetrius Andrade has showed that he's slowing down. He showed he's slowing down.
And he drained out. Like, he drained out a lot, man. You talking about 7, 8, 9. Them rounds look bad for Andrade, boy.
Man, you know who else drained out when the 7, 8 rounds? And this ain't the first time? Know who else? That redhead cinnamon motherfucker that y'all fucking put them goggles on for. Yeah. Him.
I don't have to put no goggles on for nobody. You just not finna sit up here and tell me that a motherfucker that's been professional for almost 15 years and fighting motherfuckers from down the street from me and shit.
I don't care.
Goddamn cab drivers, their whole career is finna beat somebody like Canelo Alvarez. You ain't finna just. You ain't finna just tell me that.
And when when we make the bet, and if they fight, when we make
when I've seen him struggle against domestic level fighters.
I don't care who he struggled with before. I'm saying that Canelo Alvarez's skills cannot fuck with Demetrius Andrade's skills, and he's going to.
Well, it takes more than that in the ring to fucking win a 12 round.
Absolutely, it does not.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes,
we saw that clearly this past weekend.
Nah, Coach, you got to be able to fight that shit for 12 rounds, Coach. Ain't no lunch breaks.
You're right, but Canelo need lunch breaks because if he don't, this is what happens to him. He get his forehead all swollen.
It's a whole lot of It's a whole lot of fighters that have more skills than Evander Holyfield. How did that turn out for them?
But that's Evander Holyfield.
I'm just telling you, it takes more than skill.
Canelo pace is nowhere near, and he's a heavyweight.
When you get to the top level, it takes more than skills to win. When you get to the top level,
very skillful, and he had. I think that the skill level of Bivol Andrade is going to beat Canelo Alvarez, and that's that.
I don't. I mean, he. So it's funny because you giving Bivol all type of credit, but then when I point the flaws that he had, you don't see none of that. You don't see that he's a front runner. You don't see that he's
fighter all of a sudden. Damn, how times change.
So it's funny how you can't see
in a matter of a couple hours, time has changed. We've seen the flaws that I'm telling y'all that he has. He has horrible feet. You call Bivol Andrade horrible. You have horrible feet, fucking Canelo. Your feet are fucking trash like you in mud, motherfucker. You're horrible. And you're gonna talk about Bivol who got fucking legs, who's got a longer.
But he drained out and he don't want to get in the pocket. So if Canelo closed the space, if he can get up under that motherfucker, or he can, goddamn it, man, you telling me Bivol Andrade gonna take that?
Canelo Alvarez, he also drains. We just saw that. We just saw it. We just saw him drain. You gonna talk about Bivol, but you ain't gonna talk about Cinnamon? Come on.
Yeah, we know that Canelo drain, but Canelo the bigger puncher. Canelo the bigger puncher.
Who got the better skills?
So under the circumstances that we both tired, that you got two tired fighters, who got the advantage? The bigger puncher or the person who used their legs more with the next style?
Yes. Their legs and faster hands
but he tired. We talking about two tired fighters.
We talking about
two tired fighters. Who got the advantage? The bigger puncher or the person who want to box you?
I'm gonna teach y'all by taking y'all money. That's how I'm gonna teach.
Okay, let me say this. let me say this real quick. Y'all give me a minute. Patrick K, Eric Laurent, Tom Joseph, Arnaldo Romero, Tony Hurst, Chad Greenleaf, John Williams, Chris Chapman, Bernardo Gusera, Jeffrey Spurrell, David Saunders, Alberto Herrera, Omar Bell, Grady Brewer, Sal Duran, right? Hold on. I ain't finished. Alex Caruso, Freddie Hernandez, Barnes Monterosian, Brian Rose, Dorio Puchetta, Willie Nelson, Jack Coldplay, Alantez Fox, Walter Kondakwa, however you say his name, Arthur Kovov, Mishek Selesky, Luke Keeler, Liam Williams, and Jason Quigley. I rest my motherfucking case.
Now you digging Charlo for this shit.
I don't even have nothing else to say.
For some reason, you want to resume.
I rest my motherfucking in the mirror.
I don't understand why, Keon, that you don't understand.
I rest my case.
The English language. I don't see why you don't understand.
I ain't got nothing else to say.
My thing is this. I already said it. I don't understand why you keep on bringing up. Because we can go through Canelo Alvarez from the start. And until he got to, he had fought damn near fucking 30 or 40 fucking fights before he even came to America. So I don't care about resume. I don't care. I said that Boo Boo's skills will beat Canelo's skills, and that
Canelo
is
had been a pro for 14 years, nigga.
I just gave you 14 years of some bullshit.
That's 14 years of some bullshit, coach.
And
This
I
the
agree.
shit that we gotta get out of
listen,
boxing though, like, cause we push this shit.
Hold on, listen. I agree. All of those fighters that he fought, to me, was not A-level fighters.
So
I agree with y'all. I agree with y'all. I agree with y'all. But this is what I'm going to say to that. I still, even with that resume, I think that his skill level is better than Canelo's, and he's going to beat his ass. Now, when they make the fight, I want y'all to bring y'all funds, and I'll bring my funds. And then when the fight is over, either you're going to be right or I'm going to be right. And then I don't want to hear no excuses. And because we just saw the real Canelo Alvarez this past weekend, we just saw that guy, and he looks what I've been saying, overrated. And like I said before,
would you
there
give
is a
Keyshawn
reason
Davis to beat Gervonta Davis.
This is what y'all don't get. There is a reason that he did not want to fight Boo Boo Andrade at 154 and 160. There's a reason why. And we know what the reason is. Because he's too difficult. He punches harder than Erislan De Lara. He fucking got better. He punches harder. He's taller. He's 6 foot. He's taller. He got a good jab. And he punches hard enough to do just exactly what fucking Bivol did.
To get walked down and do exactly what Caleb Plant did.
No.
Yeah,
Boo Boo is no Caleb Plant. See Caleb Plant.
I'm still asking you who has in the past. I keep asking you. You ain't named nobody yet, right?
What?
Name me the opponents that Boo Boo stopped after the 5th round.
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, because it ain't none. It haven't been none in years and years and years.
Okay, let's use that. See, you keep on talking about knockouts, and for some reason you don't understand.
We're not talking about knockouts.
Yeah,
yes,
that ain't about
you just did.
Hold on, coach, because I was quiet. I didn't say nothing. We're not talking about knockouts. I'm talking about telling you that his power don't carry past the 5th round. He fades. His power don't carry. That's what I'm saying. Whether he knocked him out or not, his power don't carry. He's a front runner.
Power.
He get all his knockouts within the first 5 rounds. He's a front runner.
I asked you a question. Did Canelo power carry this weekend? Yes or no? Simple question.
We don't know. He didn't land his punch. We don't know. He never hit him in the face.
We saw him throwing punches, right? Did he? What did Bivol?
Canelo was in there with Bivol, 175-pounder, that's strong as an ox.
And you don't think that Demetrius Andrade?
Demetrius Andrade ain't powerful like that. He ain't strong like that. No. I've seen Jack Coolclay push him back. I've seen Liam Williams last year push him back.
And he fought a lot of that fight on his back foot.
Stop comparing. Like, all right,
I'm not comparing anything. I said,
you know what I'm saying? I know what I see. I know what I've seen.
No, you thought you knew what you see last.
I know what I've seen with Demetrius Andrade when he step up in competition.
You thought you knew when you picked up people over Cambodia. You thought you knew.
And that's what it say when you don't have no competition.
Jim Miller, how is Bivol not strong? Wait, hold on. Jim Miller, how is Bivol not strong? So you say that Bivol ain't strong. How is he not strong then?
How you
let me know how he ain't strong.
I'm strong. What is strong in boxing? What's strong to you? What's strong to you?
What's strong? The motherfucker's strong.
No. I want you to define. See, I know what strong is in boxing.
I don't give a fuck if Bivol one of the smallest at 175. He ain't weak. Ain't weak about Bivol.
Because you can tell who the stronger man.
I'm not talking about KO. Jim Miller. Yeah. See, that's where you getting it twisted. I'm not talking about KO percentage. I'm talking about him being physically strong.
Okay, so what do you define?
I'm not talking about KO percentage.
I got a question for you. because this is what I want to know. See, I know what strong means in boxing. Now I want to hear what you think strong means in boxing. What is that?
You're not, Coach. First of all, you ain't coming over here schooling shit.
And nigga, I'm gonna school you right now.
Nothing. You're not schooling nothing.
I'm gonna school you right now.
You ain't the teacher and the student.
Did Demetrius Bivol start doing like Tyson Fury did to Wilder and be grabbing him and pushing him up against the ropes?
What you say?
Leg strength and moving Canelo all over the ring? No, he didn't do none of that. You know what he did do? He used hell of a fucking boxing skills and boxed the fuck out of him.
And he is strong. He's physically strong.
What does strong mean to you?
That's why Canelo could not penetrate his guard. That when they was inside, Canelo could not push him back. Now, did Bivol move on his own? Now, did Bivol retreat at times in that fight on his own? Yeah, but Canelo couldn't do shit with him strength wise.
Wait. What does strength have to do with a boxing match when he fucking boxed the shit out of him?
He couldn't push him back when he tried to.
What you mean? How he couldn't push him back? They never held. They held maybe 3 times the whole fight.
Stop asking me shit that you seen just like I seen.
No, but my thing is this, Keon. He didn't impose his size and just walk Canelo down and brutally took Canelo and pushed him back and physically, like Earl, you can say how he's strong. Earl is strong because he gonna push your ass.
So all of a sudden now,
hold on, let me finish.
I'm asking you. So all of a sudden now, Bivol ain't strong to you.
I'm not saying that.
And Canelo was bullying him in
the
the
what are we
clinches.
saying?
What I'm saying is this: it don't matter how strong. Listen,
you were just trying to revolt.
So was Canelo stronger than Floyd Mayweather? Yes or no?
I say. That's
was Canelo Alvarez
have an argument against it?
Was Canelo Alvarez? Listen, was Canelo Alvarez stronger than Floyd Mayweather? I mean, physically stronger. Who you think would lift the most weights with their legs and their hand and their arms and chest and everything? Who you think would be who was stronger? Go ahead, let me know.
What does that got to do with Bivol?
Because I'm about to let you know why. Which one you think was stronger?
What do that have to do with Bivol?
Because he didn't use strength. He used boxing skills to beat his ass. Fuck the strength.
Did I say that he used strength to beat Canelo?
He used boxing skills to beat.
I ever say that he used?
Then what you brought strength up for? Then what you brought strength up for?
I said that Bivol, right? Bivol is much stronger. Is a much stronger fighter than Demetrius Andrade, right?
How you know that? How do you know that?
Hold on.
For one, he fight one whole weight class above him.
That don't matter.
Bivol is a much stronger fighter, Demetrius, than Andrade, right?
How you know that? How you know that?
When Canelo tried to push him back, he couldn't do shit with him. To me,
he went back. What do you mean?
Hold on. To me, Canelo will have Demetrius Andrade fighting off of his back foot. Canelo's a lot stronger than Demetrius Andrade, and in the later rounds, that shit is gonna show.
How do you know that?
He's gonna be able to wear Demetrius Andrade down in the later rounds, right?
How do you say the same thing last week?
Because I've seen other fighters do it to him.
Skills paid the bill. Y'all ain't learned that yet.
Liam jabbed his ass all night, coach.
Skill, and you think Boo Boo ain't gonna be jabbing the fuck out of him? Skills paid the bills. That's what y'all fail to understand.
Like I said, because
Canelo punched way harder than Floyd Mayweather, way harder, but he got beat up by boxing.
Middle school and be the best basketball player and show all the motherfucking skills in the world. What the fuck does that mean? That's what Demetrius Andrade doing. He's showing you, oh man, according to you, he got the best skills in the world because he fight fucking.
Because he running the course at lunchtime.
And then guess what?
Hooper,
and then
man.
Hold on, let's keep that.
There it is, right there, Key. He a lunchtime hooper, man.
Okay, OTB.
He ain't getting on Friday night lights, coach, man. You got to put that jersey on.
Listen. Let's use y'all analogy. On the court outside, he fucking cold as cheese, right? And then when it's time to play this team, and he get out on a real court. When a real game and a team don't show up because they don't want to fucking play him. You know what? That seems like You
So in
can't
14
never
years, he only want to play against one team?
No, he tried to get
what's
fucking.
going on?
Wait a minute. He tried to get a fight with fucking Big Charlo. He didn't want it, right? He tried to get fights with Triple G. They didn't want it, right? The same thing David Benavidez is going through right now. That's why he fighting doo-doo ass fucking David Lemieux. Because motherfuckers don't want to get in the ring.
Espinosa said they just sent Boo Boo a check. I mean the contract. Stephen Espinosa said they just sent him another one. He turned it down. That's why he fighting David Lemieux. They offered Charlo that fight, the Boo Boo fight instead of Selecki.
And what happened?
All I'm saying is everybody that's coming in here talking about, oh man, Andrade, he gonna do this to everybody. He gonna do. Why?
I got Benavidez beating him up.
Why doesn't Andrade show this against fighters like Liam Williams?
Styles make fights.
Oh, now it's okay. That's your thing now.
Styles do make fights. We just saw it.
That's
you
your
talk about
now?
how good a boxer he is, and Liam Williams exposed that his IQ ain't as high as motherfuckers think it is.
Well,
he get caught trying to exchange, and he win exchanges because, like you said, he the bigger fighter. But you might not be you're not gonna be the bigger puncher. So in them exchanges that Boo Boo like to have, man, hell nah. He gonna get his ass tore up.
You never know. He may show you something totally different. And now that Canelo's been exposed the way
he done had long enough. When the last time Boo Boo fought?
I don't know.
Hey, bro, it's over.
OTB. OTB. Now don't think I don't get on fucking Boo Boo ass for not fighting the people.
I know, man. It's just, man, we got to get this shit out of boxing, man. And he one of them motherfuckers who's sticking around, making this shit look credible, man. And this shit is horrible. 14 years with that type of resume, man. And I don't watch. And you know, I'm from Cincinnati, man. You can say a lot of things about AB, but that motherfucker jumped up and he ain't never ducked no smoke.
No, I'm not.
I mean, when I look at a Boo Boo, man, I don't doubt that the talent there. And I mean, I don't doubt, like you said, that they see that the talent there. But it looked to me like he don't believe in the motherfucking talent.
Well, how he don't believe in it when he?
Because you don't want these fights. When you had an opportunity to get these fights, you didn't take them based off of your talent. You found money. You used every fucking excuse in the world not to fight these fucking fighters. But management, everything is the motherfucking problem. When if you suck that shit up, then today we not even having this conversation.
Eddie Hearn, when he went over there to the zone, Eddie Hearn promised him a Gennady Golovkin fight and a Canelo fight, and they fucked over the man. They shitted on him.
Yeah, you're right. And like I said, as far as Boo Boo as a fighter, I like him as a fighter. I think he's a hell of a fighter. But I can't say that, oh man, he proved to me that he'll just run through somebody like Canelo with his fucking resume.
So I said this.
Bro, you're not showing. He hasn't shown me. He showed me that he's a good fighter against fucking D-level, C-level competition.
I'm gonna tell you this. This is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say this. We're gonna bet the fight if it ever happens.
All that. When he stepped up in competition, all the skills that he had, he had skills.
He's a two-time
world, but he didn't look as good as he did when he was running through Bundu and fucking Chris Algieri. It matters when you get in there with the top elite fighters. That shit matters.
He's a two-time world champion.
Some of the fucking skills that you saying that he has, Canelo would negate some of that shit because he's an elite fighter.
Then if he's an elite fighter, why did he duck Boo Boo twice?
Andrade is not going to be able to do the same thing that he does in the ring against a fucking Rudy Poot-ass D-class opponent when he get in there with somebody like Canelo Alvarez.
You know what? You still, even after seeing this junculation that you just saw, you still big up in this motherfucker? I can't believe it. Even after your eyes.
Ain't nobody big up and nobody. We're talking about Demetrius Andrade.
Why?
Yeah, this ain't about nothing but him.
Okay.
Coach, this about his punk ass.
Okay.
Just because Bivol did it don't mean that Andrade does it.
I never said that, but I do know this.
Stop talking about if I'm big up. I'm not big up in nobody. I'm talking about Demetrius Andrade.
Keon, once again, when you could have unified and became undisputed, you can't melt Canelo and pull him in the fucking ring with him. He had the other fucking strap, right?
At the end of the day,
they pushed Canelo just like they did Gennady Golovkin, who only had two good fucking fighters on his fucking resume. One good fighter was the only one.
At the end of the day, you are still skipping around the point that I'm making. Just because he looks, just because he's looked good against some D level and C minus level fighters, don't mean he can go in there and translate the same thing against Canelo.
Okay,
that's all I'm saying.
Question for you. Since you're saying that, let's see. Go through, since you just went through fucking Boo Boo's resume. Now let's go through Triple G's resume. Go through, say out all of them fucking names that you just said.
Yeah, and Triple. Hold on.
Let me finish.
No, because we gonna stop right there. We're gonna stop right there. Triple G, everybody that he was in the ring with, that was Rudy Pooch, like them dudes that I named off against my that fought Demetrius Andrade. He destroyed them.
He got the fucking Canelo fight, didn't
he? He destroyed them.
Because he destroyed them. And Boo Boo did.
He got the Canelo fight, didn't
he? You asked me a question.
He got the Canelo fight.
Them.
If he's so terrible, if he's so horrible, and Canelo can easily beat him.
Nobody said he's horrible. Stop putting words in people's mouths.
Yeah, I just told you that he was a hell.
Okay, since Canelo beat him, Canelo is. Since y'all put y'all goggles back on a little while ago, I see this. Why in the hell did you pass up an opportunity to become you would be in 2 weight divisions right now, undisputed in middleweight. You would be undisputed at fucking super middleweight. You just tried at 175, you didn't make it.
Coach, that can't be the story of Andrade's career. That can't be the story of his career.
C-level fighters, all of these C-level fighters, and he's not that good, and Canelo's such this great guy. Why?
But in the process, Benavidez done lost the belt 2 times and about to get it back.
Jim Miller,
be a 3-time championship champion. In the process, that Boo Boo did
is not a fucking D or C level fighter.
Why? See, y'all avoid that question that I'm asking.
Ain't, especially when Sergey Derevyanchenko was young. Shit, when he first got over here, Derevyanchenko was a problem.
OTB, I just want y'all to answer that question. If you can become undisputed at 154, and then you could be undisputed at 160, and then you instead of becoming undisputed, you wait till the man at 168 loses his belt on the scales, and then you decide, okay, well, I'm gonna go and get this belt.
Coach, I ain't justifying that shit.
Exactly.
We all know the narrative of what happened. We know the narrative of what happened. But what I'm saying to you is Boo Boo can't let that dictate his career. And after 14 years,
I agree with you on that. But my point is this: you can't melt people and pour them in the ring with you. See, that's what people don't understand. And y'all know I'm not gonna make it a race thing, but it is what it is, partner. Boo Boo didn't get the opportunities that motherfucking Canelo and Triple G and all these motherfuckers got. Let's keep it 100, bro.
You absolutely correct. But at the end of the day, the point that I was making still is that has nothing to do with you crowning him like he the best fucking thing. He gonna go in there and walk through Canelo Alvarez because he fucking beat the dude, your next door neighbor, and he looked like he had all the skills in the world against your motherfucking next door neighbor.
This is my thing.
Not hearing that shit.
Once again, I don't know if y'all got good understanding. But this is what I'm gonna tell you.
Not hearing that shit. And you ain't about to tell me that because the neighborhood bully didn't want to fight your ass, that you think that you can whoop the man I just seen whoop some shit. No, that's been whooping shit. Nah, man, hell nah.
There's a reason.
No props because somebody ducked you. You ain't gonna get no smoke nowhere else.
There's a reason why a duck happened. There's a reason why the duck happened. There's a reason. There's a reason why the ducking happened, bro.
Bro, coach, you can't convince me that motherfucking Demetrius Andrade dominate none of these elite fighters. You can't.
I said he's going to dominate Canelo.
If we talking about Jermall Charlo, you can't convince me that he go in there and dominate Jermall Charlo. If we talking about any of these elite fighters, you can't convince me that Demetrius Andrade just go in there and outbox them and dominate them because he's been doing it. Because he's been doing it to Rudy Poot ass opponents. You just can't. This don't have nothing to do with Canelo. See, that's what y'all. See, it's a whole bunch of Canelo haters in the chat.
I'm naming a lot of people that was champions too during this span.
It don't have nothing to do with Canelo to me. To me, it has everything to do with Demetrius Andrade and what he hasn't done throughout his career.
Nobody
cares about Jermall Charlo. I'm making the same argument. If we talking about Demetrius Andrade versus Jermall Charlo, I'm making the same argument. If we talking about Demetrius Andrade versus Caleb Plant, I'm making the same argument. If we're talking about Demetrius Andrade versus David Benavidez, I am making the same argument. If we talking about Demetrius Andrade versus Janabek, I'm making the same argument. That's all I'm saying. It don't have nothing to do with Canelo to me. I'm gonna take
Anthony Durrell on that list. That wasn't what this conversation was about. This conversation was about Canelo Alvarez and Andrade.
And the point that I'm
making, that styles make fight shit, but there's levels to this shit too, coach.
Because Demetrius Andrade is fighting a certain class level opponents, and he's looking good in some of those fights.
Oh God!
He's gonna go at the top and fight Canelo and do the same shit. That's all I'm saying.
Levels to this shit, coach.
You're right. There's levels, and his skill level is way better than Canelo. That's it.
Okay, well, Caleb Plant's skill level was way better than Canelo's too.
Caleb Plant can't stand on a grape and bust it.
Okay, and Demetrius Andrade can't. He can't.
Yes,
he can't
absolutely. He punches harder than Caleb Plant. Absolutely punches harder than Caleb Plant.
You just made my point. Demetrius Andrade don't do it after the 5th round neither. He's a front runner. You made my point. Thank you. Thank you for making my point for me.
I could care less about all of that. We're going to bet. That's all it is to it. Then we're going to find out who right. If they make the fight, we're going to find out who right.
You made my point for me. You could talk this. You could talk.
I can care less about all of that.
Against Zach Barker, that's all I'm saying, man.
Canelo punch harder than Floyd Mayweather. So what?
Like I said, you made my point for me.
Canelo punch harder than Floyd Mayweather. So what?
With that being said,
Canelo got his ass boxed
to the ring, and Zach Parker better be asleep by the time he get there.
With that being said, I enjoyed this debate. Because I needed you, you know what I'm saying? I need to get one up on you, coach. Because
you didn't get one up on me, brother. You ain't get shit. I said that Demetrius Andrade has better skills.
I lost the fight prediction. You just ate up in this debate.
And
lost the fight prediction. You just got ate up in this debate. We even now, coach.
Like I said, my brother, if they make the fight, we're going to put our money up, and you're going to come back long-faced again. That's it.
Hey, man, this shit was fun though. This shit was fun.
Definitely gonna bet it.
Hey, I gotta get ready to close it down, man. Let me get y'all last word, man. We had a hell of a show. OTB, man. Let me get your last words. Let everybody know, man, where to find you at.
And we at OTB Boxing Class 1-on-1. It's always a pleasure to teach class with the guys, man. We gonna have some showtimes coming up. Definitely got the Castillo Clay and Jerron Ennis and the Jamel Charlo shit probably be up in the morning, man. But yeah, man, it's always a pleasure, man. Just my last words, when you don't fight the best, man, you cheat the sport, man. And that shit got a way of making show fighters, you know what I mean, get your karma. Goddamn it, will go around, come around. So you even seen what happened when you get to ducking people, goddamn it, all of these dominoes start falling because you don't really want to fight the best. You don't be believing in yourself. You ain't getting no better. So, you know what I mean? We award fighters who progressing in and outside the ring, man, but mainly inside the ring. Your skills ain't progressing, man. We gonna give your ass a thumbs down, stamp your ass out of class. You can sit in the hallway. On that, I'm out. It's always a pleasure with my guys, man. Till the next time. Salute, man.
Hey, bro. You know how I feel. It's always a pleasure to debate with you, and you're gonna lose your money, and I'm gonna sit there and laugh at you again.
Man.
Come out here and say what I told your ass, because hey, OTB, see, it wouldn't be so bad with me and him right now if this right before the fight, he called me talking mega shit, bro. Like, call me talking mad shit. I say he gonna beat the shit out. He gonna about. I told he gonna beat the shit out. He gonna about. Keep that same energy, coach. Keep that same energy. My wife wouldn't even give me the phone in the 12th round, boy. I said, give me that fucking phone. She said, no, wait till after the fight till they come to the city. I said, Big, give me the goddamn phone. She said, now you gonna calm yourself down. I said, I got to call this nigga. I got to call him. That's it. I called him when I got it. When the decision came out, I called him. I said, God, you still got that same energy.
Hey, coach, but was I man of my word?
You
I
a
came
man,
on.
brother. You a man. No question.
Okay, I came on.
You
I
ain't bitter. You ain't bitter.
Wrong, and I was talking shit, but you gotta admit to everybody, you just got ate up in this debate.
No, I didn't get ate up because my point. I think that, but his skill level is better than Canelo's, and he gonna beat him. That's
all right.
That's it.
I don't think, but you know, at the end of the day, I don't think they'll ever fight. You know, I mean,
I don't think that fight happened either.
Luck ain't been on Demetrius Andrade's side as far as getting these certain fights. None of these dudes has fought Demetrius Andrade. You know, whatever the reason is, I don't think that fight gonna happen either.
They
because his ass don't want him. I'm telling you.
They talking what you call him next. They're gonna make if he get past Zach Parker and Benavidez.
Ain't no if he is good. You said he is, coach. Ain't no ifs to it.
That motherfucker better look spectacular.
Boxing. I'm not gonna just say that. But what I am saying is this: if Benavidez and Andrade gonna fight, bro, watch. And I got Benavidez.
So they might fight. I'm talking about Canelo. I got Benavidez over Andrade.
I got Benavidez. You know that's my guy.
I got Benavidez over Andrade too.
Yeah, I got him over everybody at 160. Got him over everybody.
I think Andrade has slowed down a lot from what he was at 154. That's just my thing. Like I said, at 154, I think that he would have beat Canelo. Probably, you know what I'm saying? He probably would have schooled him. But now, nah, not so much. And you know, Andrade, he ain't looked as good as he had moving up in weight like that. But it is what it is, you know. Like I said, y'all hit the like button. If y'all ain't hit the like button, y'all that's still in the building, smash on the like button. Great show. Have fun. Y'all already know what it is, man. Salute to my brothers on the panel. Everybody in the chat. Appreciate y'all coming through. Everybody that hit the super chat, supporting the show. And we will be back, man. I appreciate all y'all. Y'all already know what it is. There you go, talking that boxing again. And I'm gone.